was once a dream that was Rome.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Roland. This is the best channel that nobody watches except a few special people like yourselves. And today we have a new episode for you in the Backlog Explorers podcast, which deals with a very serious problem, which is which older games are worth your time and which aren't. Because I think now more than ever, it's pretty good to go back to play some older games, because usually the newer, at least the AAA games, are not that good, or they are always trying to milk you of your hard-earned money. Like, for example, actually, I'm gonna go into it a little bit later. But that's kind of the jinx of the podcast if you are new to it. My partner in crime here is an individual named Sotiris, or his nickname is Adi Mundi. So he's a Star Wars fan.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. He is also a modder, part of a modding team, which, if you don't know, like, Total War games have a lot of mods. And he is a modder for Rome 2 Total War. And we gather every now and then when we have time. Usually we plan to do one of these episodes a month, but, you know, busy life. So usually it's 1.5 months. It depends on the size of the game. Like this one, for example, was pretty vast, so we had to, like, push it. But we're going to talk about Warcraft 3 today. The legendary real-time strategy game made by Blizzard. It's one of the top RTS games of all time, probably. And I've played it a lot throughout the years. I still remember when I saw it the first time. But the interesting thing about this podcast, and I think this will be cool, is that Sotiris here has never played it before. So this was the first time he experienced the game. So his views are going to be fresh, while mine are going to be filled with probably nostalgia, and it's going to be hard to be very subjective at times. Objective at times, because I pretty much, I love this game a lot. I played it throughout the years many times, so it's going to be what it's going to be. So, go ahead, Sotiris. Let's talk about first impressions, actually. What struck you as you were playing the game? What comes to your mind? The first few things. When I say Warcraft 3, what do you think about?
I will tell you. First of all, it's the first time that I've played any kind of Warcraft games. I've had my share of experience in RTS and real-time strategy games, and in the past I've also played, Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Abirum Wars. But it's kind of similar. Also, Age of Mythology and whatnot. So I have some experience on how to play these games, but in the Warcraft universe, orcs, humans, elves, and etc. The only kind of experience that I have is Hearthstone, that I've been playing with a buddy of mine like 5-6 years ago. So I had no idea about the lore. I don't know who is who. The only dude that I knew was the Lich King. But I don't even know who was it, how everything happened. So playing this game, I learned a lot. It's very interesting. And as soon as we dive into more and more, the multiplayer is very fun and very nice. But
it's still a blast.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still a blast. We played a couple of times, and it was the first time you played it. I sometimes play it with a buddy of mine. But now we were 3.
I'm sorry to interrupt. The first time that we played, I was so lost. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
But it was also
lost.
Yeah, but it was also different a little bit from other RTSs, right? Because here the heroes play a big role in your army and the way you do things. So in that regard, I think did it surprise you how different it is? Because, for example, I can't remember. I didn't play Tiberium Wars, but I did play Command and Conquer, Red Alert. But if I remember correctly, you do have unique characters in the campaigns, and you can recruit them on skirmishers, but it's not on the level of Warcraft, where you basically build your armies around the hero.
On Red Alert, you had some type of heroes, but in Tiberium Wars, as far as I remember, there were none. You only have the troops, and you have some commandos that were a bit of more OP units, but it wasn't like, they didn't have special
not at this
powers
level
or whatnot. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing with this game, because you have to micromanage the army and the abilities of each character that you're going to use. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll talk about
it adds a lot of depth to the gameplay. Because up until that point, like I think this was launched, the base game I think was launched late 2002, I want to say. And the DLC was 2003. And before that, I don't, like, I have to do my research because I didn't do it, but I doubt that there were many RTS games that revolved so heavily around hero units. I don't think so. Age of Empires, StarCraft, those definitely didn't have such things.
one can argue that the Age of Mythology had the Titans, and okay, that's kind of, and the deities, so okay. I mean,
yeah,
but not that much. It's not that deep with abilities and etc. You only have, like in Age of Mythology, you have the deities, a couple special abilities, but it's only very limited in said deities. In this game, each character has like what, 6-7 abilities. You can loot like
4,
League of
I
Legends.
think. Yeah.
I have no idea. It is what it is.
Yeah, it depends on each hero. Like they have 4 abilities, but some of them are passive. Not everything is casted, so one might give you extra armor to your units or stuff like that, or regeneration, stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the main abilities, but also you can find these
items
that also give you
Yes,
this is what I mean. That you can
even
also
deeper.
Use it
And what's cool about that is that I actually noted that down. That what's cool is that I mean, for the time, some of the orbs that you pick up, or some of the items that you pick up, make a visual change to your hero. So there might be some orbs floating around your hero, which is very cool. Man, I remember I said this a few times while I was playing Total War on the channel. I still remember the exact moment I first saw Warcraft 3 on a screen, because it shocked me so much. I was playing Counter-Strike like always at the local internet cafe, and I just glimpsed to the left. One guy was playing Warcraft 3, and I looked at it and I'm like, oh my god, this looks so good. Like the buildings, I remember he played as the Night Elves, so the buildings were moving and they were alive and they could attack the units that they were getting attacked by. It was such a shock. I don't know why.
I can't even imagine how it must have been like back in the day to see this kind of detail.
Imagine up until that point, all I knew was StarCraft 1 and Age of Empires, which also great games, but the level of details graphically is like miles behind limited. Warcraft 3, right?
Sure.
So that was so shocking. I always remember that moment. It's so clear in my mind. I don't know why, but it's a cool game. Let's go ahead and start and talk about the campaigns, shall we? Now, we were talking a little bit with Sotiris here before I started recording. The campaign is long. It's full of details, and we've played this game for the past 4 or 5 weeks, maybe even more. So some of the details might have escaped here and there, but the overall jinx, I have it in my mind, and we'll be able to discuss them. Just know the fact that, listen, we're not like super hardcore in the lore. But we did enjoy the campaign, and I think the campaign is one of the strong points of the whole game, because it's definitely, I don't know what you think, but it's definitely above average when it comes to campaigns and storylines in a RTS game. Because usually the story in an RTS campaign or game is just there for you to learn the mechanics and play some skirmish maps before you jump into multiplayer, right? That's definitely not the case with Warcraft. The campaigns are amazing. Like there's a vast number of cool characters that are pretty nuanced at times. They're not just there to push the story forward. Some of the campaigns, of course, are better than others. But I feel like the story is really good in the campaigns. Especially like the human campaign, of course. Like Arthas is one of my favorite characters. I still have to watch a video. There's a video like 2 hours of discussing his lore, because I don't know what happens with him after the Warcraft story, because supposedly all the storyline of Warcraft 3 goes on in World of Warcraft, which I've never really played.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I guess we could go campaign by campaign and just discuss what comes to our minds. And then at the end we can talk about it, which ones were the ones that we liked more, which characters we liked, and which factions we liked. I think we can go that way. So the first campaign is the human campaign, which
there is a prologue also with the orcs.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's a prologue, yes, with the orcs. That's a short, like less than 2 hour introduction.
Yeah, it's a small one. Yeah.
It's more of a, like, it serves two purposes. It serves also the purpose of the game showing you the prophet, right? The prophet is basically Gandalf. He's trying to gather all the good factions. You're gonna see a lot of Lord of the Rings parallels in this game, because this game, like the lore of this game, is probably heavily influenced by Lord of the Rings and the works of Tolkien. And I think initially this game and StarCraft, they were supposed to be Warhammer games. So the Warcraft was supposed to be a fantasy, like the fantasy Warhammer that we have in Total War. And then StarCraft was supposed to be a Warhammer 40k, but they couldn't get the license or something like that, so they just went with their own stuff. But the general idea is that the story, the characters, the factions, of course, they are heavily influenced.
Yeah, the factions are literally the same, more or less.
Yes.
You have dwarves, humans, orcs, and elves. What else do you need?
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and I started... Because first... Wait, what came first? Yeah, I definitely played Warcraft 3 before I watched the Lord of the Rings movies. But it blew my mind when I watched the Lord of the Rings movies and I saw, oh, these are the orcs. Oh, those look the undead from the mountains. Such stuff like that. It's very obvious.
And of course, Aragorn is Arthas.
Well, up to a certain point, I guess you can say that. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. So let's start with the human campaign. Let's actually, the prologue.
Yeah, the prologue doesn't. Yeah.
Not much to talk about it there. We're gonna come back to Thrall when we talk about the Orc campaign. It's a good introduction just to show you the basic movements, the basic stuff like building a barrack, building a grunt, stuff like that, and then it jumps into the actual game.
I will tell you, more or less the prologue ties to the rest of the story, because in chapter 4 it's when the orcs have left and they are going to Kalimdor. So that's how it connects, because at the prologue they leave because of the prophet and they are going to Kalimdor continent, as far as I read. And then starts the human campaign, which is my favorite one.
Yeah.
And the one that I gave the most, focus, because during when we played multiplayer, I only played as the humans. The rest of the factions are too much for me. So, in the human campaign, the story is very well written.
Okay.
However, what I want to note is that since we're reviewing the reforged version of the game, as far as I've written also, when they sold the game, they say
it was a clusterfuck. It was a clusterfuck. I remember when it launched, because I paid very close attention to it, because I was like, I told you, I fucking live Warcraft. They fucked it up so badly because well, they blame the fans as well, because somewhat naturally, even at that time in 2020, like, people were starting to turn on Blizzard, because it's not the Blizzard that we used to love, and they used to be the goats of RTS games. That wasn't the case in 2020 anymore. So when people found out that they were gonna do a remake of Warcraft 3, they were, like, understandably so, they were a little bit nervous. So they also say that it was because of the fans, but there's also reports. I tried to read into it a little bit, not too much, but just some notes. Resources were also a problem. They were either the resources were either pulled while they were developing it or something like that. So there was issues with the resources, whether it was manpower or financial stuff. while they did it, because they promised, if I remember originally they wanted to remake all the cutscenes and everything to make it a little bit nicer. But they didn't. They just ended up doing, the first cutscene that you get when you start up the game, when the orc with the footman and the grunt is fighting, and then the meteorites are falling. That's the only thing that they remade with the cutscenes. Everything else is just upscaled and they made it look a little bit shinier, and that's it.
Yeah, a bit more crisp, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to add, and also when the characters are talking, they are standing still as in the old game, because I tried to see, the comparison.
Okay.
I'm not the one who is gonna judge. I am a new player. I have no idea. I haven't played the original, game. So yeah, for me, just as a note, I wanted to say this, but because they haven't reworked, the cutscenes and etc. But the campaign itself, the human campaign, when you are following Arthur's journey to save the kingdom and how he falls, with Frostmourne and etc. is very well written, and I also like when he's about to purge the city of
that's a very infamous mission. Yes.
Who are getting sick and they are turning into the undead.
Yep.
That moral dilemma, and the two companions who leave him, the paladin Ulfar, I think was the name.
Okay.
Ulfar, I don't remember.
I have a question for you. Do you think he proceeded correctly, or he should have done something else?
Judging by the fact that everyone
try to ignore what happens after. Just at that point in time, you're in that spot. What do you do?
As a paladin, I wouldn't purge the city, no. And then maybe that would be the doom, because everyone was turning it in the undead eventually.
Yeah.
So, but no, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I would remain truthful to my to my vows.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
But
go ahead.
It's very theoretical though. You don't know how you would react. So
yeah, you don't really know the outcome, whatever you do.
And then when you play the mission and you see that indeed they are turning into the undead, you see that he did the correct thing.
Yeah.
But then he got corrupted by the artifact, and then he went and killed the king. GG. Bro, what pissed me off in that scene, however, just small note, is there are literally 10 guards in that hall. What were they doing?
Well, okay, let's I'm gonna pull back a little bit. You said your piece. We're gonna get there as well. Just to finish off my thoughts on Reforged, I do like how the campaign, the game actually looks with the newer graphics. I don't mind them. I know a lot of people, old school players, they prefer the old stuff. I don't mind the new stuff, but the cutscenes did bother me that they didn't rework it. It just felt like a spit in the face. Like they called it a remake or whatever they called it, and it was barely anything. Not what was promised. You can look up what they initially launched and then after what they made. On YouTube, there's comparisons. Anyway, the human campaign is also. It's actually not my favorite campaign, but it's top 3 for sure. The story of Arthas, it's just beautiful. I like the way it devolves. It's very nuanced for the time as well, and also for a game that is mostly, it's not made for kids, right? But it's made for a younger audience, right? So I think the themes that it tackles, it's pretty mature. Like getting corrupt by power or greed, or like you said, giving up on your vows to achieve something else.
In order to save the kingdom, you sacrifice yourself for the greater good.
Yes, it's very deep.
It's something that the teenagers, always fantasize themselves into doing. Sometimes.
Yes, and if you are still a teenager when you are older, you still fantasize about it, right? Everybody thinks of the Roman Empire once a day.
Yes, but in order to save also your loved one. He doesn't have a loved one in the campaign.
Yeah. I mean, there are some.
Anakin Skywalker style.
Yeah. I do like Arthas's arc very much. I believe, though, what I didn't. Now that I replayed it this time, like I noticed it before as well, but now more than ever, I think, like his changing character, it was like very sudden. Like the first 2 missions or 3, I can't remember, he speaks normally, and then in the 4th mission, even before the what do you call it, the purge,
the purge of the city.
Yeah, even before the purge, he has like a switch in his character and in the way he talks, and it felt very sudden for me. I would have liked that to be more fleshed out, prolong the campaign, maybe add a couple of missions or a couple of cutscenes or something, make it a little bit more nuanced, not so like sudden from one mission to another, because it felt very sudden a little bit.
Now that you mentioned, though, yes, you're right. It was very, out of the blue. But okay.
Okay.
The way he speaks to his mentor, the paladin.
Yes,
guy.
It feels like he just woke up on the wrong side of the bed one day and he started talking shit to him. That's if I have to criticize the human campaign for something, it would be that. But overall, I loved the campaign because it shows you the character making difficult decisions, and also. I can still remember, old man talking. I can still remember the first time I finished the campaign and I saw the cutscene of him killing his father. I was so fucking shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What is going on? How can I finish a campaign in a video game and lose? I mean, quote unquote, lose the campaign, right? Because the bad guys win. Like, how is this possible?" And I remember I just sitting there on my ass looking at the monitor. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what was going on.
Yeah, I saw it coming. The way he entered the city and he looked up,
Yes,
he
tossed
away
the
flower. I knew that it was gonna happen. But when I saw the 8 guards, I was like, oh, okay, now we're gonna have an awesome 1v8. He will murder everyone and then kills the king. But no, they just literally sat there and saw him killing whatever.
Yeah, but isn't there I understand what you say when you're frustrated that the other guys didn't protect the king, but at the same time, maybe there was a thing of, well, he's the prince, we cannot touch him, so it's quote unquote their problem, right? Because you cannot really put your hands on. I mean, it depends. It's a little bit more nuanced, don't you think?
Is this the Roman Senate or what?
Well, you can draw parallels from that because that's the real life example that we can go into, where fathers would murder their fathers as well, but sons would murder their father to get the power, or the other way around.
Sad moments.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they didn't.
Do you have anything else to add on the human campaign?
I must say no. I think
I was also very sad when the dwarf died from the frost blast.
Yeah. I remember the feeling. Yes, that's true. He was such a cool guy, a good companion to Arthas.
He was my Gimli. When I saw him, I was like, oh, Gimli.
Yeah. But he also his arc added a lot to Arthas' story. He was a good tool to show what's happening to Arthas. So overall, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I remember when I started the game playing, a month ago, and I told you that the only character that I knew was the Lich King, and you told me that, you will see how it goes and it happens. I thought that Arthas was gonna be the Lich King. I didn't know that the Lich King was already existing and Arthas was gonna be his knight or whatnot.
Yeah,
I didn't have an idea. And then I saw that Lich King's Knight, Dark Knight. Oh, so Lich King is another guy. Okay, I didn't have a clue.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Yes,
now
I think
know.
Now you know. So I think the human campaign also does a very good job in this together with the prologue of Thrall, right? These sets of missions do a very good job into slowly introducing you into the game mechanics. and show you how you should do things and how you should manage building armies, building buildings, resources, and such. And this is overall. Blizzard did such a good job in telling the story of the campaign, but also with each campaign and each mission just adding a game mechanic here and there, and just diversifying your skills slowly throughout the how many campaigns there are. I think there are 7 or 8 campaigns. I think it's 8 with the...
This is, with the bonus one. This is what I wanted to add, that what I liked also in most of the missions and per chapter, with its faction, was the fact that in each mission it was introducing another type of unit, so you wouldn't feel overwhelmed. Oh, what should I recruit now? I have like 15 units. What should I do? And it was introducing you to each different type, because you were fighting a different type of enemy that this specific type of unit would be better to it,
it's a good counter for it. Yes.
And this also helps you to learn how to be more efficient in potentially multiplayer.
How
battles.
to counter the enemy's army. Yes.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's very well planned out. It's super well. It's like one of the best that I've experienced in an RTS game. The way they introduce you slowly to new mechanics and new units as well, like you said.
And also, of course, nowadays it's a standard fact for each game. But back in the day, I imagine, because I was like 4 years old when it was launched. I really like the fact that each unit has its counter and it's good against something else.
Yeah.
Back in the day, this kind of balance, I believe it must have been difficult to achieve.
It was probably difficult, and only the best games achieved it properly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So this is a huge W for this game, because you have the infantry. It's good against this type of unit. Then you have, for the humans, of course. Then you have the skirmishers, the riflemen. Then you have the cavalry. Then you have the helicopters, and you have
tanks.
The tanks and the siege masters who are good against buildings.
Yeah,
it's very nice. It's very nice. I really like the balance, and I really enjoyed it when we played multiplayer. This type of synergy that you have to achieve in an army, so you can be more efficient. You can't. This is the game that, because I'm sick and tired of strategy games, because you can get away with just spamming one type of unit and you will eventually win. This is not the case with this one. You will never win that way.
No, not really. I mean, like, going on a tangent, the gameplay is very deep. And like I don't know how to say it. What's the English word? A testament to the good gameplay that this game has is the fact that there's still tournaments today in Warcraft 3 and people still play the game. Yeah. And the BattleNet, like the multiplayer aspect, is still alive and well. Like, you can still find ranked games, you can still find a bunch of custom games if you want to play Warcraft 3. So the options are still there, even 24 years later, which is fucking insane. But it's that good, the gameplay.
The only thing that I want to add also in the gameplay aspect, which of course we will dive into a bit later since we're still talking about the campaign, is that it really rewards the time and the effort that you put into the game. For example, when I played the first time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and the more and more I was playing, because you have to micromanage, you have many things to do at the same time.
Yeah.
The more and more you do it, you become more efficient to it, and it also it's getting addictive, because you are enjoying it while doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it gives you, like, you have that feel-good moment when you nail the timing of everything, and you don't get population capped because you forget to build farms.
Yeah. We need to build more farms.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But we can jump into the Orc campaign. I'm gonna let you say your piece here first.
For the Orc campaign?
Yeah, it's the next campaign after you finish the human campaign. It gives you Thrall in his search for a new home. He helps some new friends.
The next one, wasn't it, when...
sorry. Yeah, campaign number 2 is actually the Undead. right?
Yeah,
Yes.
bravo. The
Yeah,
Undead.
yeah, yeah. The Undead is the
didn't
next
remember.
campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about
Yeah,
that then.
yeah. Of course. Yeah, we don't have much. He literally goes and murders all the elves, and I think he destroys like a secret sunwell or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Something like that. And he also revives Kel'Thuzad,
Ah,
his
bravo,
bro.
bravo. Yeah, the warlord.
Yeah, that guy
Um,
is loyal as fuck. I appreciate him.
I will tell you. This is the first time that we see the corrupted version of Arthas literally mauling through everybody.
Yeah.
Um, eh, I, I like it just because we kill the elves, because I don't like the elves at all.
Okay, what's the problem with the elves, man?
I don't know. Their buildings look very weird. I don't know. I don't like the faction. Um, the only elf that I like is Legolas. Anyway, um,
Yeah, Thranduil is also pretty badass.
bravo, Thranduil with the huge stag that yeah, that scene when he lifts
Oh yeah,
5, 7 orcs and he decapitates all of them was very nice.
yeah,
Anyway, this campaign had some very good cinematics. This is what I remember. Um, it wasn't very difficult, even though I was playing in easy difficulty, so I can learn the game.
yeah.
I much more enjoyed the Orc Campaign, to be honest, the one that it's after that.
Uh-huh.
That you also fight Grom in the end.
Yes.
Who gets that
Yeah,
blood.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
it's a good
I
arc.
tried to read everything so I can know, so I can have
Remember, yes.
a remembrance of the visuals that I was seeing, because when you play it for the first time, you cannot really tell what you're looking at.
It can be a little bit
So
much, yes.
yeah, it is. Trust me, it is. For the first time, it is too much lore. I mean, you can't even fit it in a library. Yeah, I was amazed when I went to the wiki or whatnot, what they have. So many
Yeah.
characters. Yeah,
Yes.
it's very interesting. I don't know what you have to add in the Undead campaign.
The thing that so
My favorite one, to be frankly clear, was the human campaign, and
we'll talk about that later.
okay.
The thing with on that campaign is that gameplay wise, it's okay. I enjoyed it. It's not bad. What kind of like disappointed me, and I remember like the first time I played it, I still have fresh memories of it, and it's kind of the same to this day, is that like you finish the human campaign, right? You see the secession, you kill your father, but then you jump into the Undead campaign where you don't see the aftermath of that. What happens inside your city? What happens with your kingdom? I would have liked to see more of that in the Undead campaign than what we got. Like in the Undead campaign, like story-wise, I'm talking. You go, you revive the guy, then you have some civil war again with the other dudes, eventually, with the other demons. Then you kill the elves because you hate them for some reason. It continuity-wise, it didn't feel good. Gameplay-wise, it was fine, but the way it progresses the story, I didn't like. To be honest with you, I didn't like it at all. The first half of the campaign is so and so. The second half is better gameplay-wise, so I enjoyed it. But story-wise, I just don't agree with it. I don't know what you think about this. Don't you think it would have been better paced if we would have seen the aftermath of the human campaign in the Undead campaign?
You know what I would also have liked, now that you mentioned, because as a new player, when you mention something, I connect the dots, and you are 100% right. What I would have also liked is, since he kills the king, it would have been nice to have like 1 or 2 missions there, and then going on the expedition to do what he did,
Yes, like anything, just anything to connect them better.
Yeah, it would have been nice if, for example, you would fight the garrison of the city, since you kill the king or whatever happens.
Yes,
I don't know.
They could have because you get these dungeon missions all the time where you have. They could have give you one of those, Like, give me how much? Yeah, like give me two missions. Give me two missions, okay? First mission, just to connect the two campaigns, right? First mission is a dungeon stuff where you try to escape using whatever.
Bravo, from the city. Bravo,
Yes.
bravo.
Second mission, let's say it's like an all-out skirmish campaign where you have to build up your base, you have to build up your army, and then you have to destroy the guards or the garrison of the city, right? And that would be the second mission, and then you can fuck off and do the rest of the Undead campaign, okay? But these two, I think at least two missions would have added so much more to the continuity of the story. I think it would have flown much better than what we got.
It would have, yeah. Now that you mentioned, it would have been very nice. And the dungeon mission that you said, for example, if it would have been the first one, it would be nice. Literally only Arthas and the two bodyguards that he has.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Only this one, nothing else.
Yeah.
It would have been nice. Yeah.
Only that.
Nice.
Yeah, because he also has, like, he has his first ability where he can heal his units, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
It would have been fucking perfect, man. I'm pissed off. It would have been perfect. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about the Undead campaign. I remember, like, I still have, okay. I remember I played the first time, but I do remember the feeling that I got when I played it the first time. I was like, oh, nice, now I can continue the story and see what happens after. I didn't see any of that shit, because he was already off doing something else, and it felt a little bit disconnected.
Remind me, when was YouTube a thing?
2005, I think. 2005.
Yeah, so back in the day, like, if you wanted to dive into some lore or something like that, was there a way to do it, or simply like try to find a magazine or something?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
So you
I was like
left
13,
with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I was like 13, 14 years old, so the game was all that I had. Maybe there probably were some online stuff if you would want to look into it. I don't know how much there was, but for me, I only got the game, and that's why it was so frustrating, you know.
Yeah, the frustration must have been so
and
much,
also
such
like
cliffhangers.
Yes, and also like a big frustration in one of the campaigns. I'm gonna tell you later on when we talk about that campaign, because it was freaking horrible. But those were the early days. It was what it was, I guess. But that's about it for me. With the Undead campaign. If you have anything to add.
As a new player, bro, I'm trying to to gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
Literally, for me, it's just like a game through. The lore that I'm trying to understand and dive into. I did it with a recap after I finished the campaign. Yeah. So now that you mentioned that there was an uncontinuity, yeah, you're right. Now that I think of it, yeah. But I wouldn't say it myself in the beginning. You know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
But I mean, the Orc campaign.
I mean, I of course, I've had years and years of digesting this and thinking about it. You just played it, so of course it's gonna be a different take between us. But I think that's what's gonna be valuable for the listeners.
Indeed, the Orc campaign, I liked it very much. It was very nice one.
Okay, so let's jump into the Orc campaign. I'm gonna start because I think you're gonna have a better idea or better things to say about it. I just hate playing as the Orcs. I don't know what it is, but it's so... I just play it because I have to. I would never play as the Orcs in a multiplayer match.
Me neither. I only play humans. But what I liked is the fact that you go there, you
the story is nice. Fish. So don't get me wrong. The story, the characters, I appreciate them. It's good, it's enjoyable, but the gameplay itself is it's not for me. But like the storyline, Thrall as a leader, as a character, he's very noble. He has a noble cause. Lieutenant. Yeah,
very nice.
The dynamic between him and I think it's his brother, right? What's his name?
Hellscream. Grom Hellscream. Yeah. It's the lieutenant.
Yeah.
What I really liked is the fact that you're getting screwed, and then Grom, drinks the demonic plague so he can defeat the demigod. It's very nice.
It's like the story-wise, it is beautiful. The dynamic between him and Hellscream is very nice. Hellscream as a character is awesome because he is very flawed. He's a very flawed character, but in the end, he manages to come out somewhat honorably out of his whole situation.
Exactly. He starts like a rogue one, and then he
Yes,
makes a comeback.
he does get corrupted by power. Like I see him, you know what I see him like? I see a little bit of Boromir in him
Bravo.
because
Bravo.
if you take the mentality side out of it, he's a very strong character, right? But if you add his mentality, you see that he has some shortcomings. He does fall into darkness, so to say, but eventually he does manage to come out on top and do the right thing.
Exactly.
So I see a little bit of Boromir in him. Again, the story is very nice, like you trying to help the other guys when you land on their island, the Taurens or whatever they're called, the Chieftain Tauren.
Bravo.
Is very cool, but again, like also like the mission where you have to protect the caravan that's in the Orc campaign, right? Because you have to protect multiple caravans. Actually, there's a similar campaign, mission later on as well. But that mission I didn't like at all.
Fuckfest. I'm sorry.
Like those missions, the type of missions where you have a timer, I hate, and also the type of missions where you have to hold the line. Oh, you're getting attacked, just hold the line for X amount of minutes. I despise those types of missions.
You know what I don't like is I don't want to feel limited. I want to take my own pace.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy my time. Enjoy the scenery.
Yeah.
Enjoy the army that I'm building slowly, and then like have
Yes.
hear him charge, going in, destroy everything, and be done with it. This is what
I mean
prefer. That's why I like the human campaign very much.
Yeah, it's yeah, I feel like the same. I'm just like, okay, tell me the story, but let me build my army, let me build my buildings, and then just go at my own pace and clean up the map.
That's why we're gonna have like different points of view, because as a new player, I didn't have any idea of the lore. I try to pay attention more to the lore side than each mission. The mission is you simply build armies, you're trying to win. Okay. More or less, it's the same.
Yeah.
I try to to study the characters, so I will have something to say in the end, because as a new player, for me, it's too much. Everything is too much, and I try to. There was a connection with Hearthstone, the card game that I told you that I played like 6 years ago. I remember many of the characters because of the cards, and
Yes.
now that I remember their abilities in the card game, it's more or less the same. It's very nice.
Yeah. Okay, I never played actually Hearthstone.
It's a nice game, but it's a card game.
Yeah.
But it's very nice. Now that I think of it, it has many of the one-liners. It's a funny one.
Yes. Oh my. Oh, never mind.
More work.
Yeah. The one-liners. Oh my god. Anyway, let's not get derailed. We're gonna talk about it later. So, if you have any thoughts on the Orc campaign, now you should speak them. Otherwise, we can move on. Because I don't like playing as the orcs. The campaign was so and so, gameplay wise, but the story was really good. And the fact that like in the end they fight the demon, the fat demon.
Yeah.
And Hellscream is the one that takes him out.
Bravo.
That's what I enjoyed, because I feel like it. That way his story is so much better.
It's like a redeeming scene.
Yes, and Thrall and because Thrall is still alive, he has many missions and many future occasions to prove himself, right? But this was Hellscream's moment, and I'm very glad that they made him come out on top. Because otherwise, if he would have just been like, he would have sacrificed himself, and then Thrall would have come in and taken out the demon, it would have felt different. It would have felt deflated, at least in my opinion.
Indeed, it would have been the dwarf scene.
Yeah,
he died from the blast.
Yeah. A little bit subpar. Okay, so after this, there's the Elf campaign. Did you like the elf playing as the elves? Because you say you don't like the elves.
Yeah, gameplay
I'm
wise,
having a hard time remembering how it starts. Do you know? You're actually messing around with Hellscream, right? As he's trying to chop off the woods or something.
Yes, and then you have a Tyrant who tries to awake the druids.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
He's a cool hero. I enjoy his abilities. I like playing with him.
For me, trying to, learn all these abilities was too much. So that's why I'm telling you, I don't like the elves.
Yeah.
Give me just a moment.
Yeah, so
what I really liked, to be precise, is the fact that you unite with the other factions, the humans and the orcs.
Yes.
The
battle of the last alliance.
Exactly, you have the last stand in that mountain. But playing as the elves for me was okay. I was trying to get rid, to finish the mission.
Yes.
And this is when the first time that I also encountered some bugs in the game that we have to some duplicate liners and some texture fidelity. I don't know if it was the issue with the map. I've had the textures missing. The black squares in the middle. I wasn't able to see my troops. But it was the only time that I saw this, because I've marked it down.
Yeah. I don't remember having problems such, but yeah, maybe. Go ahead.
As a campaign, storytelling, it's nice because you're trying to make the last stand. You defeat the Archimond, I think was the name.
Yeah, something like that. The big purple guy.
Yeah, something else is purple and big. Yeah, but gameplay-wise, it wasn't that pleasant for me. I don't know. Do you like the elves?
Well, I mean, they used to be my favorite faction, because I just liked Legolas from Lord of the Rings. So whenever I saw the elves in Warcraft here, I'm like, yeah. But then the more I played the game, the more I was like, well, these guys are... I don't enjoy playing with them as much. I enjoy playing as the humans as well, because they have a more versatile roster, somewhat. With the elves, the problem is that initially you don't really have melee fighters. So you have a lot of archers, but you have nothing to put in front of the archers to defend them.
Exactly.
So it's... Yeah, it is what it is. Eventually, you get one of the best melee units in the shape of the bears, and also the giants, the tinies, the stone guys. So eventually, you're gonna get there, and you're gonna have one of the best. But initially, it's more of a dancing around type of.
Tudor is playing as the elves, right?
Yeah. Yes. But then again, you can counter that usually. I mean, this is multiplayer stuff, but you can counter that because I told you, like, the hero that you get, like the one that you play as when you try to awaken the druids. Yeah, he has the ability to summon some trees that you can put in front of the archers.
Bravo.
And that's a good balance if you initially start playing with him in multiplayer, usually.
Yeah, so. It's a nice wall, like, a wall meat.
Yeah. You need something in front of them. Story-wise, yes, I enjoyed the second half of the campaign more than the first one. Not much to say about it, really. It's
the only the scene that I liked was when Malfurion, I think, summoned the 1,000 spirits or whatnot, and he detonated the bad guy beneath the tree. It was very nice.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like, the cutscenes are really nice
first time saying it was very nice.
Yeah, in the Elf campaign, and overall, because this is the last campaign, we can talk about the campaigns overall here. Because if you don't know, this was the base game. Like, the story ended here initially with the 2002 launch. And then the other campaigns came in the DLC called Frozen Throne.
Yeah.
So the story ends here, and it's overall like a pretty good story, pretty good ending.
Yeah, it ends nicely. The alliance, the last stand, the happy ending.
Yeah, it starts off rough with Arthas. But you eventually rally the troops, you are good enough, you are taught by this point in time the mechanics of the gameplay well enough so that you can oppose the enemy. And it has a good, oh my god, let me just take a deep breath here. It has a feel-good ending, right? Although it starts out rough with Arthas. And at this point in time, you don't really know what's going on with Arthas. So I was still, like, I remember the first time I was playing it, I was still, like, as I was playing and finishing the game, and I was like, okay, but what happens with Arthas? What's going on with his kingdom? What's going on there, you know? That's all I could think about. And that just
what's the funny thing?
And that just took away from what I was actually playing and seeing in front of my eyes. I don't know, I was just captivated by Arthas's arc in this game. Go ahead.
What's the funny thing is that out of all the factions, out of all the campaigns, the darkest one, quote unquote, is the human campaign on how it ends.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a bit contradictory because when you start, you see this angelic, this heavenly city like Minas Tirith with bright lights,
like a noble, strong.
Yeah. Angelic, like you see the paladin, a warrior of gold, how it goes, how you think of it.
Yeah.
And then everything falls apart into darkness. And then you have all the other factions, they have their skirmishes, they're doing their part, okay. And then you have the grand finale in the end. But and now that you mention the most well-written and fully arced character in the campaign entirely, individually, is Arthas. And after the Undead campaign, they don't give you much anything else.
Mean, the game starts and ends with him. The campaigns. So, I mean, not starts with him because you have the prologue, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
But I think he is the main character in the game, and if you think about it that way, then it's a pretty dark game story-wise.
Indeed.
But let's go ahead. So there's the four campaigns. If you are to rank them, or maybe we should rank them when we talk about the next bunch of missions as well at the end. Overall, I think it was a great campaign, even if we put an end to it here. Overall, good campaign. Actually,
storytelling, the fidelity was very nice. Now that you mentioned, since you have more experience, there are some gaps, after chapter 2, at the end of the human campaign, and when King Tyrannus dies. There is a gap there, indeed there is, now that you mention. There are some gaps, but I don't know. Since it was the Reforged, I believe they could have added a bit more lore and like one or two missions in between.
Oh, it would have been nice, I think.
Yeah, not only here, perhaps in general, just to
they could have done
to tidy up. Yeah, because
they could have done so much more.
Since it's a remaster, more or less, a remaster, it's not only visually, because visually, okay, of course, it's more crisp, the graphics are more nice, even though they butchered and they didn't do anything with the cinematics, that we will tell a bit later. They could have added a bit more content in order to justify the €30, the price.
Yeah.
Because, if I'm going to play the exact same thing, but a bit more, with a bit more better graphics, I would have easily go install it from Pirate Bay, the original game, the old one, and literally play it from there. It's the same thing.
Yeah, they could have done.
Don't you agree?
They could have done so much more with this remake, and it's just so sad and disappointing that they didn't, and they ended up butchering it, because you have a very good example of a good remake in the Age of Empires 2, for example, which launched in the same year in 2020, I believe. I think it was 2020.
Or
anyway,
2021.
Or something like that. But like that's the gold standard of how to remake an RTS game, and it's still going strong, that game as well. it's just very disappointing. And even if you like go into a time machine on YouTube and watch all the videos about the launch of the remake of Warcraft 3, you will hear the disappointment of the masses of people that were looking forward to it. Yeah, it is what it is. We're still left with a great game, of course. And if you're not around or at the launch of the Reforged, you can just completely ignore this point and just enjoy the games for what they are. The game for what it is. Sorry.
You know what though? You give it credit that the Reforged was good and etc. because the base game is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, they built on the base game and they literally just improved a couple things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I dived into it, I have no idea how the base game was. Okay, I just want to be transparent and honest. That's why what I want to disclose is that I've played it for the first time, only the Reforged one, and I'm not biased. And with the nostalgic aspect that you
don't have that aspect, yes.
And you are frustrated. To me, it's a good game. Period. But
yes.
If I was in your place, I've played it when I was like 9 years old, the game of my dreams, and like 20 years later, I hear of a remaster. I would have been so hyped and so devastated in the same time. It's more or less the same game, no additions, no anything. They fell off on the promises that they made. I get your point, but for me as a new player, it's a very good game. But
yeah, exactly. Yes.
Does it worth the €30? I don't know.
Yeah,
probably
we'll see
not.
about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the base game. That's the base campaigns. Let's push on and talk about the Sentinel campaign, which is the first campaign in the DLC. So it's mostly the first half of the DLC of this campaign is you running around with the Spectre character. I can't remember. Maiev, I think. No, is it?
Maiev, yeah.
Yeah,
Sado,
Maiev.
something.
Yeah, it's the name of the character. You're trying to hunt down Idillion, which in the previous campaign, in the Night Elf campaign, you free up in order to get some help against the Undead. He's not exactly a good character, but it's something that you need in order to succeed, apparently. Idillion is a cool character, I must say. But coming back to this campaign, I fucking hate this campaign. This is the worst campaign, easily. And I'll tell you why. Well, first off, you fail. Anyway, because you start out trying to hunt down Idillion. Wait, is it Idillion or Illidian? Idillion, right?
Illidan, I think.
My God, I always mess it up.
Illidan. Anyway, who cares?
Even fucking 30 years later, I still mess it up. I still can't figure it out. Illidan, yes.
I think Bok will correct us.
Illidan Storm Rage. That's a fucking cool name. Anyway, Illidan. There you go. So the reason why I despise this campaign is for some reason, like, listen, this campaign, continuing the philosophy of the previous campaigns, it adds new mechanics, right? It adds a blink mechanic. You can blink with the hero here and there. You can jump from here to there. You get introduced more or less to the Navy side, to the Navy aspect of the gameplay, where you have different islands that you have to go from. You get
that was cool.
Yeah, you get an entirely new type of architecture in the first few missions, where you have to go and discover what happened in the aftermath of Illidan's release. But I just hated it. I can appreciate the fact that they tried new things. I have objectively speaking, they have tried new things, different things, and I can appreciate that, right? But for me,
it's new content. It's
yeah. But I just fucking hate it. First, maybe it's because of the character. I don't like Maiev for some reason. She just rubs me the wrong way for some reason. The second half gets a little bit better when you start to buddy up maybe with Illidan. This is where you buddy up with Illidan, yes, and you try to save. I mean, Mirana is the name of the character in Dota. I don't know what's her name is, the chick that rides the tiger. So the second half is more enjoyable because you get introduced to other characters as well. It's not just Maev, but the first half is the worst for me. The worst campaign, the worst missions in all of this game. Second half is more enjoyable. I enjoy it more. You get to play as Illidan as well, but yeah, go ahead.
It's because of the gameplay or because of the storytelling?
The first half, both. Gameplay and the story. And the way things look. Like, I just can't find anything good to say about it. Other than the fact that I appreciate that they tried to do something different. And I know this is just a me thing. I don't think like this is what the majority of people think. This is just me. What do you think?
Yeah, to me it was a bit exciting, that as you mentioned that you have a new kind of content with.
Also, like before I forget, sorry, before I forget, no fucking cutscenes at the end of this campaign, and the next one either. You only get a cutscene at the end of the whole DLC, which is very, very disappointing, because back in the days, like cutscenes were like, oh my god, I just want to play the game to see the cutscene. I remember that mentality while I was playing StarCraft 1. Because initially we always played in the internet cafe. We played the pirated version of the game, of course.
Yeah,
but
everybody.
But eventually, when you get the official release, you get cutscenes. And I remember going home, installing StarCraft, and just playing it for the cutscene. I would play it with cheats. I would put in the cheats to be invulnerable and stuff. Just finish the campaign quickly, just so I can see the cutscenes. So with Warcraft 3. Amazing cutscenes, right? Even now they look pretty decent. Back then they were fucking mind-blowing, I'm telling you. But having no cutscenes at the end of this campaign and the next campaign was super disappointing. But go ahead, talk about. Sorry to hijack this one, but it was just
No, that's fine. But now that you mention, indeed there weren't any cutscenes. I wouldn't even notice. Because for me it's not like. It is mandatory, its campaign to have its own cutscene.
Well, no,
but now that you mention,
yes.
it would have been nice.
Yeah, it could have used a little bit.
Anyway, as I said, that for me, okay, the game through was nice. I really liked the different kind of content that they added, with the islands that you also said that you have to transport the units and etc. It was nice.
Yes. You can also play as a completely new faction with the Naga.
Bravo.
That's very, very cool.
I don't have any kind of negative to say. The storytelling was okay, afterwards with Malfurion that we got introduced in the main campaign.
Yes.
Who stops him and then he flees because you said you fail, indeed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate more the elf campaign than this one.
Oh, absolutely. It's. I mean, I just said I think it's the worst campaign out of all of them. I don't know why. Like the second half is okay. Actually, you get to play as the Naga. You get Idillion, which is a pretty cool character, one of my favorites. But it's just a big nothing burger. I don't know.
In comparison with other campaigns, of course, it's like.
Yeah, it's a drop off. Like, can you feel the drop off? Like, it was a fucking drop off. That's for sure.
Yeah, with this point of view, of course. But as a standalone, it's holding by its own. Okay, I guess. But of course, it's not comparison with the lore and the connection, like with the human campaign.
Yes.
Of course. And also, even though the elf campaign, I despised it a lot. The end with the last stand and the fact that everybody is going together, the Great Alliance, it's very nice.
It adds a very nice dynamic to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't have this one in the Sentinel campaign. But,
No.
Okay. And if you think about it, it's the first campaign that you fail, actually.
Well,
Would
you
it
have
not?
the human campaign as well, where I don't know what you call that with Arthas.
The which one?
Yeah, the human campaign. I mean, you don't fail in the. I mean, I don't know.
This one has a
nuanced,
different
but here
point of view.
you literally fail. Yes.
But yeah, if you take it literally, it's the first campaign that you fail and you literally feel like anyway.
Yeah, but like that's that's it is. But like, although I hate this campaign, but the fact that you fail at the end, I
Yeah,
like. I like
why
it.
did I even?
I like it because you know you usually you always win. The good guys always win. But with Warcraft, that didn't happen uh, every time because you have the downfall of AORUS, right, and the Human Kingdom. You have the failure here. Like there's more things are more balanced, and I think
Yeah,
that
it's
adds.
dynamic. Okay.
It is dynamic, and I think that adds more gravitas to things. You know, like things that, like the small details, actions, characters are more important because you don't know which way it's gonna go, right? And when you don't know which way it's gonna go, that's when you're excited to see what happens. Because if you know, that good guys always win, then it kind of takes away a little bit from stories. But if you know that there's a chance that bad things might happen, then it captures you more, in my opinion, of course.
You know what I really like in this game is the fact that when you play the campaign and you fight with your life to win and etc.
Yeah.
You can't know what the aftermath will be. You might win, but then with the characters discussing and etc. how it goes with the
Yeah.
cutscenes,
Yeah, you don't know.
it's a surprise. Even though you won the battle, you don't know if you will win the war. It's very
Yes,
nice.
and it happens a few times with certain characters where you play almost the whole campaign with one character. You get attached to it, and then in the next character,
He's
in
gone.
the next campaign, you have to kill him, and it's
Yeah,
like wow, that's
indeed.
that hits you,
Indeed.
man. That hits you.
The fact that Arthas kills his paladin mentor got me. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's one of them.
come on,
Yes,
dude.
it's
Anyway.
pretty deep. So that's
I'm sorry, and that's what I like because if you think about it, think about it. Most RTS games, for example, Age of Mythology, um, Command and Conquer, and all these type of games, their storytelling is very shallow, very shallow.
yes,
For example, yeah, in Command and Conquer, it's very shallow.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah,
even Tiberium Wars, which is my favorite one. Okay, you have an alien invasion. Okay, boom, 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 boom. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else.
yeah,
There is nothing else.
yeah.
This game has so many characters. Each character has its own path and arc. If you dive into the lore, of course,
Yeah, exactly.
it's
It's
not everything
interesting to
visually.
explore. Yes, it's interesting to
Exactly.
explore them.
And that's what makes me think because when you played it back in 2002, the original one, you wouldn't have any kind of way to learn about it. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, no, no. I only had the games.
You
It was so yeah.
you would have to go and buy like a magazine if there was even something like that.
I'm sure there were forums where people would talk maybe, but I was just too young. At the
Yeah,
time I
but
was what,
it's not
13,
canon though.
14, and I didn't think that deep into the game.
Yeah, the thing with the forums though, it's not you don't know if what's being
If it's
discussed is
official or not.
canonized.
Yeah.
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 So yeah,
But
and that's what blows me away because and now that we have all this technology, you play the game. Oh, who is that guy? You literally go
yeah,
online.
like
You
we
have
live in a
like
world
50 pages with the lore.
we live in
So nice.
such a different world than what we had like 20 years ago even, man. It's so different. Like you have any information you want, you have in your pocket. It's so crazy.
Indeed.
But coming back, like you said, the characters are bigger than life, right? You sometimes are incentivized to go and learn more about them in the story, and it's a beautiful parallel between that and the gameplay, where the heroes are quite important. So both in the gameplay, the heroes are important, but even in the story, the characters are like, in some instances, almost more important than factions or cities and such. Like the emphasis is put on the characters, which is pretty cool.
That's how it should be, to be honest.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
video games, yeah.
it's not the city that matters. It's the person who leads it, and
Yeah.
what this person does.
Yes.
For example, you have King Terenas. He was sitting in his throne like 24/7. He doesn't doing anything, and then comes his son. Boom! Maybe that's why his guards didn't do anything. They knew that he was corrupted.
Maybe. Or maybe they were like the Praetorian Guard. Maybe they were thinking, oh, maybe the prince will give us more money, so fuck the king.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, I think we can jump from the Sentinel campaign and we can go to the Alliance campaign. I really like this campaign.
Yeah.
It's cool because, again, you get a new faction. You have a cool hero here.
We have a racist commander.
We have the elf. What's his name? It's Kaev, I think. Kael. No, it's Kael. It's
Kael. Kael
yes.
Tas. Yeah.
Yes, he is super awesome. I like the gameplay with him. I like his character. I like the way he speaks. I'm just.
Yeah, to be honest, you know what? To be honest, I saw me in his place. You know how I despise elves.
You have the commander that's giving him orders, that's pushing him around. That guy was
so nice.
They really managed to do a good job with him in the fact that you really hate him when you see him.
This campaign has a very good gameplay, and also
it's beautiful.
It has a very good story also.
Yes,
and this new faction that you mentioned is very well introduced. You know there is I don't know there is a lore. There is too much lore.
Yeah, and you get a glimpse of it in the main campaign where you have to defend. I can't remember which faction you play as, but you have to defend. What you call it? It's the same situation with the Taurens and the Orcs, where you have to defend them as they leave.
The last stand I don't remember.
Something like that. Yeah, you see him in the main campaign initially, Kyle. Where you have missions where you have to protect him as he escorts his people. But then you meet him here, so that's why he's part of the Alliance, because you save him. Help him and his guys leave. And then here he's part of the Alliance now. But for some reason, and I didn't really understand this dynamic, why they went this way with the humans. Like, even though the humans were in a bad spot, like, this commander is still being a dick to his allies, which just, like, it doesn't make much sense to me. Because if you are in a desperate spot, you're like, that might humble you a little bit, That wouldn't.
Yeah, you would try to get help from everybody. Yeah,
like you would try to like be buddies with everybody because you really need the help. And
exactly,
this guy
it's not
being
that you are invincible.
Yeah, and this guy being such a dick, it didn't make sense to me. But it somewhat makes sense if you see where they're trying to push Kyle as a character. Then you understand why they did it. But if you don't know where he ends up, then it comes out of nowhere, and it makes no sense. But overall, I really liked the Alliance campaign. By the way, did you get the secret mission?
Which one?
There's a secret mission in this campaign. So when you're in the dungeon, I think, what do you do in the dungeon? I can't remember. But there's a dungeon that you play in mission number 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a place, a little room, that if you find it, you have 3 sheeps there. And then you can step in front of the sheeps, there's platforms. And then if you step on them, they say something. And if you step on them in the right order, then you unlock a new mission right after the current one.
No, I haven't.
And it's a tower defense mission. Like,
really?
Yes, it's a full mission. It's really awesome. I played it a couple of times. I didn't manage to beat it. There's like 30 waves that you get, and you keep building towers and upgrading them and trying to stop them. I didn't finish it, but that adds so much to this campaign, because the missions, like going back to the Sentinels, right? You have new mechanics. They are trying to do something different. And in my opinion, they fail. I don't like it. But here, they try to do the same, but they completely succeed. Like, I enjoyed this campaign so much, because you have the classical, like, okay, build an army, go smash type of missions. But then you have if you discover, of course, the secret mission, then you have tower defense missions, which is just like a new genre of gaming. in of itself. And then you also have... Okay, that's my dog saying hello to you guys. Let me close the door. And then you have the mission where you have to... like... Illidan is within a crystal. Captured. And if you remember, the crystal either goes towards Maev and his guys or towards you. And that depends on how many units or what type, whose units are around the crystal. That's a type of like a MOBA type of a mission where, you know, MOBA games like Dota, for example, or League of Legends, which that's just... So there's... The diversity is pretty big. You get to play as a somewhat of a new faction as well.
These details are looking nice. I didn't even know that there was a hidden mission.
Yeah,
and much more tower defense. I like tower defense games.
Yeah, I think it's in the second or third mission where you're in the dungeon. You can discover the secret mission. You can look it up on YouTube if you want to play it. It's pretty cool, actually. Okay. It's pretty... Oh my fucking god. 1 second. Talk about the mission.
Anyway, what I also like is the fact that you have this...
okay, good job, Sotiris. I'll go back to my thoughts now.
I was trying to speak about the racist command.
Okay, go ahead, because I'm sure you were eager to do that part. Go ahead.
Bro, I see myself into him. You know how it goes. Of course, I understand what Ronald said, that you're in a dire spot, you have to be ally with everybody, but you know how it is. We are humans, we are superiors. It is what it is, man. go for it.
Yes.
Just go for it.
Well, Sotiris is Greek, and I love Greeks, and I also like how racist they are, and that's the end of, and that's the bottom line. Okay.
We love everybody equally, by the way.
Yes. Everybody's shit. Okay, so again, this is top 3 material for me when it comes to campaigns, the Alliance campaign. I like
for sure.
I like Kael's character very much. I like the gameplay with him very much. I like the Blood Elves. They look cool. The gameplay with them is also pretty nice. Kael's Orc, him trying again, it's something similar to Thrall, actually, to the Orc campaign, where you're trying to save your people, and you just do anything that you can in order to save them, right? Because here, like in the Bane campaign, you're trying to run, then you realize that you might be in a bit of a spot, so you join the alliance with the humans. Now you're getting pushed around by the humans because they're dicks for some reason, and then you have this feeling in you that you need something, you know, it's a dark side where you need magic, and you have this guy Illidan that shows up and says, "Oh, I'll give you what you want. You just join me," and you just go from boat to boat to boat in other factions. And of course, unfortunately, this guy doesn't really get a break. He's just going from left, right, getting pushed around, and doesn't end well for him because we know what. So it's a pretty dark campaign if you think about it, because you're trying to, throughout the game, you're trying to save yourself and your people, but you fail. It's pretty sad. Again, we're coming back to this theme where you not always succeed, and there's always stuff that goes badly.
It gives a bit of Boromir and Faramir, vibes.
Yeah.
The fact that they're trying to save the people, and you have the crazy ones in Gondor,
Yes.
So nice.
Yeah,
so nice
indeed. So what you think about this campaign overall and about the character?
And
if you want, you can talk more about your racist commander.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm going past him. The arc that you said, that he goes through anything he can to save his people, it gives a bit of Arthur's arc.
It does, absolutely.
It gives, so I can see the similarities, since it's a humanish campaign, and it gives a bit of Arthur's. Of course, doesn't end like this.
Well, it doesn't end well in both cases, but in this case it doesn't. It ends particularly bad for Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Um, now that you mentioned also that there was a hidden campaign mission, it's very mind blowing. I mean, I didn't even know.
Yeah. If you didn't discover it, then somebody telling you, "Oh, there's a secret mission," then you're like, "What? What the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly, and that gives more credit to this campaign because from the beginning I liked it much. You know the reasons, and of course, since you are playing with uh, humans, a new faction, it's very nice. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Of course, this gives credit to the game for not winning its campaign, because you never know how it ends, so it
Yeah,
gives
absolutely. It
suspense.
gives
And
nuance.
yeah, even though that you win the battle, you can doesn't mean that you will win the war, and you don't know how it ends. That's what I really like in this game, as I said earlier.
Yes.
It's very nice. And then you have the Scourge campaign, as I say. Did you like this one?
Yes. Um. Well, Scourge campaign. I have dual feelings about it again. It is so devoid of everything else. I feel like it's so isolated in a land and in a world which doesn't belong to the rest of the campaigns.
Bravo.
That
Exactly.
it's every now and then it's
like
hard to connect
it's like a
to it.
standalone one.
Yeah, it's like a spin-off, but then again, you play as Arthas, so you want to see where his story goes. But at this point,
It doesn't feel the same as the Undead campaign.
no, it feels different from anything before. Because you're in the end game spot here, and you're curious to see which way Arthas will go. It feels. I like it, but it feels very different. The gameplay is nice. It's okay. It's pretty cool that you're fighting Illidan, and you're trying to get to your master, Sauron.
Exactly, bro.
It's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of the first half of the campaign. You're trying to run. You say goodbye to Kel'Thuzad, which is pretty, even though it's an evil faction, and you don't really necessarily like him, you see his devotion, you see his loyalty, and you kind of appreciate the guy, even though he's a fucking monster. And then in the second half, where he's struggling to get where he wants to get, and then eventually he gets to a pretty cool fight with Illidan. This is another spot. That's another cutscene that could have been so much better with a modern cutscene slapped onto it. It would have been so much nicer, man. Because those two characters are so great in the game. They're so iconic. They look great, right? They have they seem like they can rip somebody's head off. And then at the end, where he stands alone on the frozen throne, it's the story-wise is just so cool. But at the same time, I don't know, it feels like something different. I like the way it ends. I don't know if I like the way it ends, of course, because it's a bad ending, right? You get corrupted by evil, and then you get consumed by it, and then you come one with it. But it is such a, metaphorically speaking, it's so good, because you see Arthas, from this noble young man, trying to do the right thing, ending up being corrupted by power. And then because he's getting corrupted by power and greed, he ends up alone on a cold throne, right? Because he doesn't have anybody next to him anymore. And it gives me chills even just talking about it right now. So story-wise, I like it. I would have loved a remake of the cutscene between him and Illidan fighting.
Yeah, how they fight in front of the...
Also, it's very bittersweet, because in this campaign you kill Kael, the guy that we talked about previously in the previous campaign. You kill him as Arthas, and not only you kill him, you just throw a line in his face that he's just jealous because you stole his girlfriend in the type of of the young magician. What's her name?
The one that it's from the.
From the base campaign. What's her name?
One moment. The one that rejects you from going
Yes.
in the purge with you, right?
Yeah. Oh, what's her name, man?
One moment.
Wait, I'm gonna punch myself in the nuts. Jaina Proudmoore.
Bravo.
Yeah, Jaina not only you kill Kyle,
Proudmoore, yeah.
you rub it in at the end, man. You kick him out. You kick the man when he's down, and it's just so it hurt. It hurt. I'm just gonna say that. So it is bittersweet, but at the end of the day, it is Arthas' story, and it doesn't end well. And although it's painful to go through it at times, I love the fact that it's a sad story, so to say, because up until like now I can look at it that way and I see it. Yeah, I love it because it's sad, because many times evil prevails, right? But at the same time, in a world where back then good would always win at the end, blah blah blah, you had this story that was different. Now everybody, like modern days, everybody tries to do this shit, right? Oh, subvert expectations, ooh, blah blah blah, and it's just shit. But back then, it was fucking mind-blowing. And if you look at it that way, the story is well written. So, sure, you can try it modern times as well. Although, let's not get into it. But you can try it, and if you do it well, it's gonna be awesome. But most of the times, they just don't do it well, and it ends up being a pile of shit. I don't know. That's about my thoughts about the Scourge campaign. I want to see where the story goes with Arthas. I'm gonna check. There's a 2-hour video on him on YouTube, which I didn't manage to watch before this. I know there is no, like, spoiler alert, there's no real redemption arc for him so far in the story, which is, yeah, it just continues that path of, I don't know, I feel like an abused wife, and Warcraft 3 story is like my abuser, you know, because it's painful, but somehow I always come back and I enjoy it, you know.
It's a bittersweet experience.
Yeah, it is very much a bittersweet experience. What are your thoughts on this one?
I will tell you. We're gonna talk about the climax also that they are fighting, and of course Arthas getting merged with the Lich King. So there goes my question: what about the Lich King when I started playing the game?
Yeah.
I will tell you. As you said, it feels a bit off. It doesn't connect that much with the other campaigns as itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, okay, it was okay. For me, I always say it's okay because I'm a new player. It's the first time I'm playing the game.
Yes.
Just another disclaimer. But what I really liked was the cinematic with the fight. It was very nice.
Yeah. Even today, it looked like. How do you think? Do you think it still holds up nicely?
Of course, of course. What do you mean? Certainly.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you.
Nice.
It still looks nice. Although, like, just imagine what they could have done in a.
Yeah, of course.
I think
just
there is.
imagine,
I think on YouTube you can find some fan-made cutscene between with this one. The ending between Illidan and Arthas, which is a much better made one, if I remember correctly.
Like
I didn't
a
watch
fan-made one.
Sorry?
A fan-made one.
Yeah. You can find one on YouTube,
okay.
I think. I didn't watch it because back then when I discovered it, I was like, well, I plan to play Warcraft 3 game again, and I can't remember how the story ends, so I don't want to watch it. I'm just gonna keep this one in my mind, and I'm gonna watch it when I finished replaying the game. So I'm gonna go and watch it actually after this. But there is fan-made ones because it's obviously a pretty iconic fight, iconic moment in Arthas's arc, so to say, along with the purge of the city. So yeah, go ahead, continue with your thoughts on this campaign.
I will tell you, as storytelling, it ends nicely, you know, with the climax that he's going, how was it? Northrend, yeah. He flees back to Northrend to protect the Master. Sauron.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, the similarities with Lord of the Rings are, yeah, unlimited. Anyway,
yeah, they are.
um, but gameplay-wise, as I told you, for me it's more or less the same as the other ones. What I really do enjoy is the end of the story that they fight and he becomes a Lich King. So uh, I
Yeah.
finally learned how it goes and the lore
Yeah, and
behind it.
then in the cutscene as he walks up the tower, you get
Yeah,
the lines from his whole campaign, lines from different people throughout his arc. It's fucking awesome, man.
bro, I'm telling you, chills.
Yeah, it gives me chills talking about it right now, and I'm fucking 36 years old, and I played this game a million times in the past 20 years. It still gives me chills.
I will tell you, as a final cutscene, it's so nice. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm not saying about the remaster anyway. I'm just judging the base game
Yeah,
since
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
You can
cutscene of
go.
of
Yeah,
the base game.
of course.
Um, Even though the campaign itself, as we mentioned, was not very
Not the
tied with
best.
the rest of, yeah, um, it gives a very nice ending to the overall experience of the game.
Yes,
And
it leaves you satisfied, I would say, yeah.
and and if you are about to purchase the game, you are purchasing it for the campaign more or less. Of course, there is also unlimited content and time playing in multiplayer if you have friends, of course.
Yes, custom maps, but even without friends, you can still find games easily.
So you can get mauled in 2 seconds.
Probably. Yes, well,
Eh,
probably. At this point in time,
yeah,
there's only the veterans.
exactly. Um, but yeah, the campaign in this game it's so worth it. How many hours it took? I think like I've been playing it for 20 hours. It's a
I don't
long
know.
campaign.
If like I remember looking it up, the average player is between 30 and 40 hours for the campaigns, for the full campaigns.
Yeah, because
There's a lot, man.
yeah,
There's very much here if you, yeah, to
and I played it on
experience.
the easiest difficulty. If you're playing it on hard and it takes more time, imagine. And
Yeah.
the fact that it's so old game, because nowadays most of the games you're paying 60, $70 for a game, and it's like holding for like 12 hours the whole thing.
Yeah,
30,
more or
30
less
hours,
depending,
40
yes.
hours only for the campaign for an RTS game that has the unlimited potential to play and play and play battles, multiplayer and
Yeah.
PvE or whatnot. It's so good, bro. The campaign was very nice. Of
Yeah,
course,
the
as we discussed during this time, and there were some campaigns that were dreadful, of course. Uh, for
yeah.
me, it was the Elf campaign. I didn't like them at all.
Yeah. Okay.
And also that you mentioned the Sentinel campaign was kind of shallow, but for me as a new player, it was okay. Gameplay wise,
Yes.
I was trying to know, as I told you, since I've been playing this game for the first time, I will repeat this once again.
As you mentioned before.
Indeed, as aforementioned, I try to put my focus on the characters so
Yes.
I can have a better understanding on what happens, the lore, because when I opened the wiki, I was
It's so
lost.
much.
I
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
probably a lot. I don't know, but
what am I gonna say in this podcast?
yeah. And it's
But
it's it's funny you say that because that's how I played it back when I played it the first time. Even though like you played it just to see where the story goes, what cutscenes you get, And at the time I ignored, not ignored, but you get what I mean. Like gameplay and the campaign was like a second-class citizen, The
yeah, you
main
don't pay much attention because it's
no,
more or less the same thing. You have your base, you build your army, you go in, you go out, and that's all.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yes,
But of
exactly.
course, there is, yeah, it has more. It is a bit deep. It's not like Command and Conquer that you have to go from point A to point B and be
No,
done
no.
with it, because you have the characters. That's the main thing. You have the characters, and you can, tailor the gameplay around them, which is
Yes,
very
guys, you
nice.
have to remember this is Blizzard at its peak when it was producing banger after banger, whether it was StarCraft, Diablo, Warcraft, you name it. Back then they were busy creating good games, not drinking breast milk from their female employees, okay? So that's a major
Mhm.
difference between nowadays Blizzard and Blizzard back in the early 2000s, late 90s.
Diablo pop-up. the memories of this game. So nice.
Yeah, maybe we'll play that one time, because
Yeah,
I didn't
for sure.
play the Diablo games. I knew they were super famous, but like between Age of Empires, StarCraft, and Warcraft, Diablo was just not on the table.
I have a friend of mine with which he left abroad, so we don't speak anymore.
Yeah,
He was such a nerd with Warhammer games, Warcraft games, I don't know how to call it, and Diablo. So Diablo, I learned it from him, and I played a little bit. Oh wow, it's so nice, you know.
it is. It has a addictive gameplay loop. It does.
This guy, he was such a nerd. He knew everything, bro. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay, so I think to finish the discussion with the campaign, which is like 1.5 hours at this point in time, which is pretty cool. It just tells you how good the campaign is, because you have a lot of stuff to talk about it.
Exactly. And imagine 1.5 hour with quote unquote only you having the knowledge and me just saying my first reactions. Imagine if we were both nerds. We
Oh
would
my
have
God.
been still in the human campaign.
Yeah, probably so, yes. But just to give you, the listener, an idea, like, the storyline is the MVP here. Not to say that the gameplay is bad, because it definitely isn't. But the storyline, the characters, those are the driving force of what made this game one of the greatest real-time strategy games of all time. To this day, it is still played. Tournaments. There's actually this weekend I saw one of the former Warcraft 3 pros, because I remember some of them. His name is Gruby, whatever. And he was casting a tournament, because I told you. And the tournament is between, like, it's not necessarily only Warcraft 3 players. It's professional RTS players from other games such as Age of Empires 2 and streamers, and they compete in Warcraft 3. It's so fucking funny. I didn't manage to watch it, but I know of it, you know. So it still has life in it. The campaign is fantastic. It's not always rainbow and sunshine, like we talked about, but that just adds it an extra flavor. And the fact that you play as a whole campaign, maybe with one character, just to kill him off in the next campaign, it hits you. Like, there's moments in this game that hit me and will stay with me probably for the rest of my life, without trying to be too dramatic. But the moment that I first saw the game and the moment that I first time finished the human campaign, those moments will probably stay with me forever. And now that we talk about it, if you want, you can give some finishing thoughts about the campaign, and then we can talk about your favorite campaigns and favorite characters. Go ahead.
So what I really do like is, as we disclosed earlier, the fact that it's unpredictable. You start with a campaign, you have the character that you play, okay, and even though that you win the battle sim, you get an idea on where it's going. Literally within a cutscene, everything changes, and
Yeah.
it's nothing that you have imagined of what would have happened. Also, what I really do like is, as Ronald said earlier, how they are connecting.
You mean Roland,
each campaign. Right? What did I say?
You mean Roland, not Ronald.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, you finally managed to find out my name. That's fine.
Indeed, as Ronald said, how they are connecting the campaigns with each other.
Yes.
Of course, and imagine that this is based on the campaign that was created in 2002.
Yeah.
I mean, just simply imagine. We're not judging the reforged campaign because there is nothing reforged in that campaign.
Not much, yes.
Yeah, story-wise.
So just judging the overall game, that the package that is presented to you right now, without necessarily thinking about the launch of the reforged and such.
The campaign is fantastic.
Yeah.
As a first experience, it's fantastic. And now that you mentioned that there is a hidden mission in the Alliance campaign in the Frozen Throne DLC, I'm gonna go and play it again just to see how it is.
Good. You should do it.
Yeah, bro. It's a very good game, and it's within the RTS genre, I believe it's the best campaign that I have ever played. It's there is depth, there is so
Yeah.
much lore, and
Come to
even
think of it, yeah.
and even when you are done playing the campaign, you have um,
You can dive deeper into the lore.
you have a motive to go and check what happened after the end of this campaign with that character.
Yeah,
Because it leaves some cliffhangers
it
in
does.
the arc of some characters. It's
Yes.
not very polished in that aspect, but the generic idea is very well written, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, because you mentioned like one of the best stories. It probably is. Like I'd argue maybe like of course, like some of the historical games are pretty up there as well, like Age of Empires, because that tackles multiple campaigns, multiple whatever missions throughout time. But like original fantasy wise, RTS, I mean this has to be on the top there somewhere.
Yeah, of course. Age of Empires, it's more historical.
Yes,
More
it's a different
realistic. So
it's something different. Yes.
of course, it's gonna dive by default much into story. This is a
Yeah.
fantasy game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, obliged to do it, but they did it and they exceeded. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very good. It's very
Indeed.
good. Okay, well, I'm gonna ask you, what are your top 3 campaigns, and what's the worst one for you?
Top 3 campaigns. Yeah, you know the worst one already.
Yeah, but which
So,
one?
yeah,
We're gonna see which one of the night though. I mean, actually, I probably know. Go ahead, finish. I mean,
I will
continue.
I will tell you. The top one is the human campaign for sure.
Yeah.
And the reason is, of course, Arthas, the fact that you follow Arthas' arc and how he starts
Mate, we didn't talk about. Go ahead. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. Finish.
Sure,
Go
sure.
ahead.
The second one, I believe it was the Orc campaign, not only from the gameplay aspect that you don't like the Orc as a faction,
Okay.
it was very nice, the
The
storytelling.
story was very
How,
nice. Yeah.
yeah, because of, how he goes there and tries to save the people, and then you have Grom, his lieutenant, who is trying to defeat the demigod, he fails, and
Yeah.
then he tries to sacrifice himself with that demonic blood, whatever that thing was, and they finally do it, and then he redeems himself in the end by defeating the main boss, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So nice, so
It
nice.
is. It is.
And the third one, even without knowing that there was, a
Extra
hidden
mission.
yeah, it's of course the Alliance campaign because it's the second type of campaign that you play with, the humans in this fantasy world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and now I'm gonna play it again with cheats, so I can go directly to the chapter with the ships.
Yeah, I think it's the second or third. We're gonna maybe look it up. You can look it up on Google probably. It's the dungeon mission. It's the second or third mission and the Alliance.
Of course, by the way, credits to the final one of the DLC because it has so epic cinematics in the end with the final battle.
Yes.
But of course, as a campaign by itself, it's okay. The worst one, I believe it's the Night Elf campaign.
Yeah, the Sentinel one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the last one of the main part. Because
Okay,
when,
where the Alliance comes up or what?
yes,
Oh, okay.
because of
Go
the
ahead.
because of the first part that you're playing with the elves.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
The Sentinel campaign, even though that you're playing with, a similar type,
Yeah.
I didn't have an issue because, as we said, it
You enjoyed
introduced
the new
some
stuff that
new
they added. Yeah.
mechanics, and it was
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
kinda interesting and like a new breather after so many hours of
Yes.
the main game.
Yeah. I can see your point. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I didn't like the Night Elf campaign because of the elves. Even though the second
Racist.
part that you're playing, indeed, even though the second part that you're playing with the Alliance and you make the last stand, it's okay. It's nice.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't like the elves at all in this game. It is what it is.
That's fine. I'm the same with the orcs, for example. Although I can appreciate, like we said, their story.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're somewhat somewhat agreed. My favorite campaign is the human campaign, of course, because Arthas is just, I don't know, he lives in my mind. I mean, even to this day, like if you watch my Total War walkthroughs, not often, but every now and then, whenever I'm going into a battle with an enemy army, I do say the quote, "Your pain shall be legendary." You know, it's from Arthas, and I do like in everyday life. There's glimpses and moments where one-liners from this game come into my mind. Like when I told you this in private, when I'm rushing because I have a million things to do and I want to like constantly be aware of the fact that I have to rush, I sometimes tell myself to be like, be quick, time is mana, you know, shit like that. So, or the orc grunt. When you put him to work, you know, he says like work, like that also comes to my mind every now and then.
But the one-liners in this game, I can see how they are so legendary.
Fantastic, man. And for those of you that think of playing the game, just clicking multiple times on one character, he's gonna tell you new lines, and some of them are funny, and they are intentionally.
Stop touching me.
They are intentionally. Fourth wall breaking somewhat, so that you just it's the little details with this game, man. It's just so good. So it is the human campaign, my favorite one. My second favorite one is the campaign that we completely forget to talk about, which is the bonus campaign. And I'm gonna tell you a painful story right now. The bonus campaign, back when I first played the game. Of course, I first played it the initial release without the DLC, because the DLC didn't exist. So that was nice. Okay, the DLC comes out. I play it. I can't remember. I don't think like listeners. We're from the Balkans. Spending money on a game when you were a kid back in the early 2000s or late 90s, it wasn't really a thing, you know. So most of the times we played pirated versions of the games, right? But I was playing the DLC, and then you have the bonus campaign, which follows the story of Rexor and his pretty cool adventures on the maps. The maps are big. There's a million things to do on them. Very nice campaign, very nice. You meet Thrall at one point in time. You help him out with something, but initially, you could play only a certain part of the bonus mission, man. You can only play it up to a certain point, and then it would leave you hanging. Completely fucking blue-balled. And it would just tell you to go online and download the campaign map if you want to play it further. And back then when I played this at home, I didn't have an internet connection yet. So I was like, oh, this campaign is so nice, I'm playing it, and they're like, if you want to see the end, go and download. I'm like, motherfucker! It was such a punch in the guts. But
cock-a-block.
Oh my god, man! But that's my second favorite, if I'm being honest. I like just the adventure that he goes on. The little missions that you find is just super enjoyable. Not very sweaty. I don't remember it being very hard, if I'm being honest. But it's very, very enjoyable. And I like Rexar as a character, which is kind of funny because he's kind of an orc, so I didn't like the orc gameplay and such, but that's actually my second favorite campaign. Do you want to say anything while we are at it? Do you want to say anything about the bonus campaign?
This one I haven't played it. I've checked it online, so I don't have like objective.
Yeah, because guys, like we are trying. Okay. Just sorry to interrupt. But just the people that are listening, like we are trying to play the games that we talk about from start to finish. But we are adults, we have adult lives. Time is limited every now and then, so when you can, you play the game. Sometimes you play it even maybe if you don't feel like it, but you play it because you want to do justice by the listener. But the bonus campaign, maybe like you said, like you just didn't get to it, and maybe you had to watch a walkthrough online, so go ahead.
Indeed. It seemed interesting, but
it's fun. Like, if you have time for it, I think you should play it.
Yeah, perhaps because tomorrow, the day after I have a day off, I will, since I'm gonna check the extra mission with the tower defense.
Yeah,
I will check that one also.
and it's fun. It's a fun one. Okay, and then the third campaign for me is obviously the Alliance campaign. I like I said, I like Kyle very much, gameplay wise, character wise as well. I like the fact that they have like literally different genres within that campaign. They have tower defense, they have somewhat of a MOBA aspect, they have the RTS aspect, of course, they have the dungeon crawler as well, which kind of is like a Diablo type of stuff. So it's just so diverse that
So nice.
it's very nice. It's very nice. Again, kind of a bittersweet ending to the campaign, but if you play it in isolation, you don't really know that he's gonna die, right? You just know that he joins up with Illidan. And that's that. Like I said, his arc kind of ends badly with Arthas taking him out and rubbing it in. It's like it's fucking poetic. It's awesome. I'm actually like, you don't see that often in entertainment, where the evil guy prevails on the good guy, but not only prevails, but he rubs it in really badly before he takes him out. Like, that's something that I mean, quote unquote good guy, because at that point in time, Kyle is kind of a like good bad. That's up for discussion. More of a nuanced character. He's trying to do what he can in order to survive, right? But that's kind of my top three, if I'm being honest. The Scourge.
You know what? We would have done the same in his place.
Of course, like you, when you are desperate, you do what you have to survive, right? Either that or you just give up. So there's only two options then. So no judgment there. I like, just like as a side note, I do enjoy the Scourge campaign somewhat. The gameplay is it's okay, but the story just blows everything out. And although it ends how it ends, it's still a good experience. We forgot to say that we might spoil the story when we started talking about it, but anyway, like, maybe.
Yeah, I guess they will have already figured that out.
Yeah, probably, yes. Maybe I should put not quite. We'll see. And then my least favorite, like I said, it's the Sentinel campaign. It just doesn't sit well with me. It's pretty much a fucking nothing burger. The second half is awesome gameplay wise because you play as the Naga. I think they're called the Naga. Do you play as the Naga, as Illidan's faction?
That's Snake, right?
Yes. You play again with the Centaur. I can't remember his name. You probably know better.
I think Malfurion, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I enjoy playing with him. He's a good hero to have, even in the multiplayer. I like to play with him whenever I played as the Night Elves. But like the first half is just very not enjoyable for me. And that's about it. I'd say the second least favorite is the Orc one. But you see, that's the cool thing about this game, because I say second less favorite, but then again, I enjoy the storyline very much on the Orc campaign. So even if in the campaigns that are maybe not top notch, you can still clinch onto something to say that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, you appreciate certain aspects.
Yes, and that's what makes this game really good. So these are kind of my thoughts about the campaigns. What about your favorite characters? Give me a top three. I know. Let's say that your best favorite character is the racist captain. I know, but give me the afterwards, the top three.
I will tell you. My favorite one is Arthas, even though he rubs it in the good guy in the end. So this I do not appreciate because he's anyway.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say names. Arthas is the top one for sure because his arc and his storytelling is very nicely written.
Yeah.
Then I would say that I also really like Grom because I do appreciate also the parallel that I was trying to think of a parallel from somewhere, but the fact that you said with Boromir from Lord of the Rings was so spot on, which is it's a very nice parallel that you said. So I would say Grom is either top 2 or top 3, and then of course you have the Lieutenant because it's legit how I visualize myself in being in this type of universe. Because you know it's not oh your race is no, dude, you have your own race. You're trying to defend your own race by any means necessary. Of course, as we said that even though the city fell, the king fell, so they're in a dire situation, you will try to ally with everybody,
Yeah.
as they did in
You
the
would try
Untitled
to be a little
Campaign.
bit more diplomatic about it, yeah.
Yes, but okay, there are always this type of guys, from
Yeah,
all kinds
of
of
course.
races.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From
from
all
all
kinds
kinds
of
of
people.
races.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, for sure, it's the lieutenant
Okay, I
in the top
like
three.
I like your top because it includes not necessarily the main characters, or of course with the excepting Arthas, but it's a nuanced take. And yes, Hellscream's arc is it's I think it's one of the most realistic arcs if you want to put it into real life, right? Because there's a lot of strong individuals out there, but every now and then we fall and then we pick ourselves back up, and hopefully eventually you came out on top and you become a stronger person and you strengthen your beliefs. But he is
What though? I'm sorry to interrupt. What I also do like is the fact that he sacrifices himself and he falls in the darkness. But in real life, not everybody would go past it and come back. You
yes,
know,
yes,
they remain corrupted.
yes,
So that's even another point of view in his arc, which we do
yes.
appreciate with
He
the
did
fact
have the
that
courage
he
to
came back.
go through with it. Yes,
Exactly.
he realized. Yeah, like yeah, that's like like if you want to draw some funny parallels, like he drinks that infested blood in order
Hmm.
to be stronger, in order to defend his kind, right? That's like if you want to draw a parallel, that's like a father that goes to work and maybe works in not very good conditions, but he does it because he has to provide to his family and protect his children, right?
Exactly.
That's very very noble, um, and yeah, his arc is really good. And
And
I
I do appreciate the game for giving him the opportunity to defeat the main boss in the end.
Yes, that was so important, I believe, because it adds so much value to him as a character. Like just to draw a parallel, like imagine Boromir gets corrupted in Lord of the Rings, but he dies while he tries to steal the ring from Frodo. That would have been really painful to watch.
Of course. Of course.
But no, he finds the courage within him and pushes through. So that was very important for his arc.
He was very close in the forest to get corrupted and grab the ring.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I would agree. Like it's impossible not to like Arthas and his arc. It's a sad one, but there are many lessons that we can learn from it. Um, Life is not always black and white. It's actually mostly nuances of gray,
Exactly.
and it is what it is. His arc is just so good, man. Like I told you earlier, you start the game with him, you finish it with him, but you start with him in one place where he's kind of in a similar spot of maybe being a little bit lonely, young, and like he didn't fully grow his wings in the world yet, but he is forced into a decision that eventually pushes him into the dark side, right? Maybe if
Mhm.
he's older and more experienced in life, he takes a different course, right? But because he is younger still and he is still in this spot of development, he chooses to do what he does, and then throughout the campaign you see him going deeper and deeper, and eventually he gets power, but at what cost? Because he's sitting alone on a frozen chair, right? So you get all
Mm.
the power you wanted, but you are alone, and that's a beautiful metaphoric story. Because if you want to draw parallels with real life stuff, you have countless stories of businessmen, rich, very successful businessmen that end up being unhappy, right? And I see a parallel within that story where you have to go through it like in order to be successful, truly successful in business, you have to be ruthless, you have to be a lot of things that might not be nice, right? And you end up being successful, blah blah blah. but then you end up being sad, which is
You know,
sad.
money is the way, but not the means to be happy.
Yes,
That's the
exactly.
difference. Of course, sadly, nowadays in the age that we live in, without money you can't do shit. Literally, you can't do shit. Okay, so
Well, that's
let's
probably
be
how it
realistic.
always was, yes, but maybe, I don't know, like, yeah, like technology and everything, it just blinds us to some simple things, like going out for a walk is very nice, sitting out on the grass is really nice, talking to your loved one is really nice instead of staring at a phone.
Yeah, tell them you love them
Yeah, exactly.
before you regret it. Anyway,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah, but Arthas's arc is beautiful. The final shot of the game of him sitting on the throne is bone chilling, and as I said, like him, you getting the lines from throughout his arc as he walks up the tower is fucking spot on, man. I cannot tell you how much I like that.
Bro,
So
it also gives Darth Vader. I know that you don't like Star Wars, but it gives Darth Vader the fact that he
it
gave
does, yeah,
everything. He gave everything to save. Anyway, pussy slaver, but it is what it is.
yeah.
He gave everything to save his loved one, the kingdom, for example, for Arthas, and then he sits alone in
Yeah,
the end until he dies. But the thing with Darth Vader is that in the end he repented.
yeah. I
I
do
don't see
remember
the same thing with Arthas.
there is a redemption with him, yes, but with Arthas, we don't know yet. Depending on where the story will go, I think eventually. It's not that I hate Star Wars. I just like I'm talking about the first 6 movies, okay? But because everything else I don't give a fuck about. But I just
There are only 6 movies.
yeah, uh, I watch them. I enjoy them for what they are, and that's about it. It doesn't pull anything out of me, you know. I know they're a cultural like phenomenon, Lord of the Rings level, but you know I just can't get into them. So it is what it is.
Even though I really love Star Wars and I am a Star Wars nerd, they will never touch a fingernail of Lord of the Rings, sadly.
Yeah, I tend naturally I tend to agree with that, but I'm a subjective in a subjective position.
I am
Although I
honest.
will say though, the laser sword fight between Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and whatever.
Qui-Gon Jinn,
Yeah,
the
there you
Duel
go.
of
Thank you.
Fates.
That is fucking epic. Okay,
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it
that
is.
is the best
Bro,
thing that came out of those movies.
imagine 30 years after the chapter 6, the final movie of the old ones
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
you get a Sith who out of nowhere pops a dual blade lightsaber, and you get a fight that you would have never imagined back in
2001.
1999, I think.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah.
1999, I think. Yeah, 20 years afterwards, I think you're getting this. The fans
Yeah,
must have been absolutely
I remember
out of
in,
their
in
minds.
in the trailer or something, like you see them standing off with each other, and you see him pulling out his knife, his sword, and then you see the other part coming out as well. It's like, oh,
Yeah, it's very nice.
yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, yes, back to the story. So it's Arthas number one. I didn't go past that, right, man? We should just stop talking about Arthas. Number two, I would say. I like Kael a lot. It's between Kael and Illidan, I'm gonna tell you. But I somehow feel for Kael more, because it's again
Illidan is the purple
yes,
tank.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, the purple winged tank, dual blade, motherfucker, badass. Yeah, so I feel for Kyle because, like we said, I don't want to repeat the same stuff. He does what he needs to do and somehow still ends up with the short end of the stick, or the long end of the stick, if you want to look at it that way. But he is a pretty noble. Starts out again as a pretty noble character, but yeah, I like him a lot. I like the campaign with him a lot. I like the gameplay with him. The way he talks, he's like an ASMR type of guy. His character, I just like everything about that campaign and about that character. And then obviously number 3 is Illidan. There's like with Illidan, it's just my monkey brain gets activated. You see him, he's a badass. He looks like he could smash something up. So I just tend to naturally get attracted by those types of characters. He's quote unquote, although he's an elf, he's kind of a man's man, you know. So I always like those types of characters and individuals. It's if I think about it right now, like this thought just came to my mind, right? His arc, he eventually helps the elves quite a lot. But then because he got his powers from the demon, if you think about it, he's just a little bitch. Because the demon comes and tells him, okay, go and kill that guy. And he's like, oh, yes, master, okay. Instead of trying to somehow make an alliance, make something happen to take out the demon itself. And then he could live happily ever after with his Naga Medusa lady, right? Now that I think about it, I think that would have been a cooler arc for him. Instead of him just being ordered around and then dying at the end of Arthas's blade. But I still like him a lot. He's quite a badass.
So that's why you hate the Sentinel campaign, because he fails his mission, right?
No, I mean, everything about the Sentinel campaign is a failure. Now that I think of it, actually, man, like if you think about it, the whole Sentinel campaign, you're like, okay, you failed to catch Illidan, so Illidan goes away, but then Illidan eventually fails. So it's like, oh my god, man. Why did you have to bring that up? Now I have to think about it.
Double the failure.
Oh my god, double trouble. Getting wrecked from both sides. Anyway, so these are my three characters, I would say. Okay, favorite factions, maybe we shouldn't talk too much about this, because it's obvious. It's gameplay-wise and story-wise for you said it's more the humans. Yeah, and I guess, what would be number 2? Would it be the orcs? Or what faction would you... you didn't really try to play in multiplayer, right, with other factions? So
yeah, multiplayer, no.
But going off of the campaign.
Of the campaign, the orcs, yeah, because it's like a horde, you know, you spam and you go with the large numbers. Yeah. I believe the orcs would have been the other one. The night elves, even though I don't like them, I can see their superiority in certain aspects because they have these abilities to pop the trees, which act as a buffer zone, so it gives you time. Because I've also seen it in the multiplayer that we play, and Tudor uses them.
Yeah,
it's so OP, and they also have these pools of health that you can take your units and heal them.
Yes, that is a big aspect of their...
Which is also OP.
Yes, it is. Sure. It is.
Well, the only faction that I despise are the Undead, for sure.
Yeah, but you didn't really... okay. They are, again, quite different. I do like... Okay, so I'm gonna go with my choices now, I guess. Gameplay-wise is the humans. They have a nicely balanced... Although they have some lacking features, if in my humble opinion, of course, I'm not a good skirmish player. But I like the humans. They are my favorite. They have a really nice, varied roster. They have healers as well. They have units that can give slow as well. They have the footmen and the knights. But I do think that late game, they kind of lack a heavy punch. You know, I think that late game, the other factions outclass them. Like, for example, actually, now that I think of it, but no, the double-headed dragons are the night elves units, so they're the humans. Like, I think they can get overwhelmed late game by the other factions, because the undead, for example, they have like the big butchers, the big fat guys. If you're talking about land stuff, but like they have the what they're called, some frost worms, the big dragons. Those are very strong late game. And I don't know what like equivalent the human faction has. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
have to look into it.
the Griffith, I guess. It's the only aerial type of
Yeah,
unit
you
that
have
they
some
have.
error. Yeah, but
But
I
they are
don't know.
trash.
They're not as good. Maybe if you just recruit a few of them just to deal with the dragons, then that's a good counter.
Yeah, but
They're also. I wouldn't say they're trash because they have an ability, which it's like a fog that you put on towers. So if, for example, if your enemy has like many towers in one spot, with one of those flying birds or whatever, elves, whatever you want to call them, you put that ability and that whole area is disabled and the towers will not shoot at you. Yeah, and you can just walk in and destroy everything. Come to think of it, I think that's what the AI uses against us, man, when they just destroy everything. Holy shit.
I don't think that we have played against the human enemies.
I vaguely remember moments when they had those winged stuff and my towers were getting smashed.
Of course, they have their own abilities that you can use in certain, scenarios. The thing is that the humans, as you said, they cannot sustain a battle against another full army.
They're kind of being left behind a little bit.
They do not have that many special units, and I don't know the main units that we have, because I'm judging from our multiplayer sessions.
Yeah.
I rarely recruit something else apart from knights.
Knights, snipers, maybe footmen in the beginning.
Snipers, the footmen in the beginning, and also the
mortar guys.
Bravo, the mortar guys, exactly.
Those guys are very good.
Yeah, from the Griffith altar, I don't recruit anybody from there because it will, hold critical points that I could recruit something better, I guess.
Yeah. But now to come to think of it, I think a well-balanced human army should contain some of those winged elves, because of the fact that I just told you, like they are good maybe anti-air, and also they can disable towers.
By the way, the helicopters are nice. Against the dragons.
Actually,
sure.
Yeah, they are good for harassment as well, because you were using them. I don't use helicopters at all.
You know what's the good thing with the helicopters against the AI, of course, is you can grab like a couple of them, take them on their base, and you can distract them because the AI will. It will get alerted that they're getting attacked at their base, and they will grab half their army there.
They're very good at harassing. Yeah, you can push the AI around with that. They're very.
It's like a very good diversion, actually.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, so the humans for me, and I think on the second, although I like to play as the elves and they are my favorite, I do kind of enjoy playing as the undead. With the undead, I like the fact that, for example, one of those villagers, workers, I can't remember what their name is. The undead worker works like the Protoss does in StarCraft, where with one villager, so to say, you can just place the building and then the building will build itself and you can take the worker away from it, and you can build like consecutively as many buildings as you want, granted if you have enough resources, of course. I really like that aspect about the undead. And the undead also has like cool late game units. As I said, they have the dragons, they have in Dota that unit was called the Butcher. I don't know what they're called, the fat guys with the distended stomachs, and hooks as hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say number 2 is the undead, and maybe least favorite, obviously, the orcs. I would say I don't really enjoy playing as the orcs. Yes. Okay. Holy moly. We can talk a little bit about the gameplay. Yeah, because we got carried away. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I feel like I wrestled a bear right now, to be honest with you, because I talk so much.
So much. Okay.
Yeah. We can talk a little bit about the gameplay, which is crazy. And then if it's still worth it. Go ahead.
I will tell you, look.
I'll go grab some water because my neck is really...
Sure. Since I have some experience in Command & Conquer games, which is very similar, of course, same goes for Age of Mythology, but what I really do liked in the multiplayer sessions that we played, and of course I played a little bit by myself against the AI, is that the more you play, you're starting to make some patterns so you can be more efficient, because it has so much micromanaging this game. It's unbelievable and frustrating at the
Yes,
same time if you think about it.
it is
You
very
have to,
diverse. Go ahead.
yeah, you have to do so many things at the same time. And what I really liked is the fact that I started learning how to build it with, the buttons, not with the
Yeah,
mouse. So I,
yeah, with
so I can,
shortcuts and have purpose for everything you build. Yep,
bravo, the
hit the right
shortcuts.
timings. Yeah, yeah, it's very satisfying.
You create words with the shortcuts so you can remember them
Yeah,
for its building. And it's very nice. Since I've played only with humans in the multiplayer, what I really do like with the human race is the fact that they can uh, devote each worker to the same building so it can be built much faster.
yeah,
However, what strikes me the most, and I really don't like, is the fact that when you are in the middle of the fight, you literally cannot tell who is who. Even though that in the settings there is an option that you can paint all
yeah.
the allies in blue and all the enemies in red,
Yeah, it
which
can be overwhelming. And also, just as a side note for anybody that's listening, the way you experienced multiplayer was us playing 3 versus 3. So 3 humans against 3 AIs we usually played. And that can get very overwhelming, especially like it gets overwhelming for me, and I can only imagine it for a new player how it feels. So go ahead, I just wanted to add that.
and also what you have to practice, of course, as a new player is that, for example, you are fighting, okay, you're trying to hold middle, you are fighting for your life,
Yeah.
and you have queued in the barracks and in the workshop a couple of units, and in the middle of the fight, you are going back to check the production. You don't see anybody there, and then you notice that you have never built more houses,
Yeah.
and this uh, keeps you back for like 5 minutes into the fight,
Yes.
because you cannot bring reinforcements, and
Yeah.
by consequence you will lose. So of course this is a skill issue, one might argue. Of course it is a skill issue, but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a new player. The more
Yes.
you play, of course, you will get even better.
Of course.
Also, what I really do like in the game is that it's not like a typical Command and Conquer game that you will just build the buildings, you will build the armies, and you will go in. You have in the same time to build up your character, your main hero, for example.
Yeah.
You have to go around
Farm. Yes.
and farm the AI points of interest, and that way you will also free up gold mines that you can expand and have double the income. It's very nice, and it rewards to have balls in this game, because if you will not commit, you will not go anywhere. It's very nice.
Yeah,
What
it's a
do you have
fine
to say?
line. It's a fine line between, like you said, having balls, but also recognizing a moment where you might overstand your welcome, and then you're getting
Oh,
smashed, and then the game is over.
oh yeah, this game rewards tactical approaches and tactical retreats. You
Yes.
have to retreat all the time. There is no actual need to sacrifice an army, because it takes much time to build that army again,
Yes.
in which time the AI will literally wreck you, because
So,
the AI it's cheating more or less.
well, yeah, on the higher difficulties, yes, but to draw a parallel for anybody that didn't play the game, but maybe he's into historical stuff, it's not like a big battle set piece between two factions, two big armies. It's more like a skirmisher, in the forest. You catch him, they catch you. So and in the end, the side that comes out on top is the one that actually like crawls away more resources from the other side. Because a lot of the times, for example, I remember, I don't know how it is now, but in the past I would watch, like many years ago, a few matches between pros. It's like by the end the final battle comes, like the player that's losing already knows that he lost, and he just says GG and goodbye. They didn't even stand and fight up till the last man, of course, because they know how the way the game goes. It's more of a it's more of a nuanced type of a warfare, I would say. And yes, the gameplay is
guerrilla warfare.
yeah, something like that. Yes, I would say yes. And the gameplay, like you said, is very deep because, of course, like in any RTS, you have to micromanage stuff at home. You have to manage your army on the battlefield. You have to manage upgrades in your base because upgrades play a major role, like in any proper RTS game, in this one as well. But not only that, you have hero units that introduce a new dynamic to the gameplay. But not only that, you also have units that themselves have abilities, because there's quite a few types of units that also have different types of abilities to themselves. Like, to give you a very basic example, you have the footmen that they can have a higher defense if you activate it, but they move slower. Or
exactly
the flying elves, like I mentioned before, you can put some fog on towers and then you disable the towers. Or with the undead, with the big spiders, you can grab air units and pull them down ground, and then you can attack those air units, captured ones, with your melee fighters on foot, right? So there's even that. So it goes very deep. Super awesome. I also
it's not one of these games that you will play for like a weekend and you will become a pro. No, each day you play, you will learn something else.
But you also won't get bored very fast.
What you have to digest is the fact that you have to adapt in each scenario. It's not like that you will have a certain strategy that will work each time.
You don't have one weapon size fits all.
Yeah, because as Roland said, it's not like that you will fight one large battle and you will enter in the enemy city and you will destroy him. No, it doesn't go like that. You start with 5 units, literally 5 soldiers. You will go and harass him. He will come and attacks you. And it goes back and forth. It's like World War I, more or less. And
micromanagement plays a very big role in this RTS.
And the more you harass him, so they won't be able to get more gold or whatnot.
Yeah, the more map control you have, yes.
Yeah. Who wins is literally the ones who manage to harass the other one more efficiently, let's say.
More efficiently, yes. Efficiency is the name of the game here. If you cannot invest too much into your army but do good damage with it, that's gonna just leave you more gold to then replenish that said army, in case you get a little bit smashed, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, I'd say gameplay. Yeah, like gameplay wise, that's a big bonus. Other things that I enjoy gameplay wise when it comes to Warcraft, I just like the color scheme, how lively it is, and it's pretty rich. The colors, they're not faded, so to say. I love the bulky character design. So if you go and watch, like even in the Reforged, but in the older versions, they have massive heads, almost the size of their torso, and bulky shoulders and the big feet, bigger than for example, their calves, or stuff like that. It's just so over the top, but it's a certain type of a unique aesthetic, and I liked it a lot. I still like it for some reason.
It's like Giga Chads.
yeah, exactly. Something like that. I'd say yes. That's a good comparison. The only downside that I see in this game, and where it shows its age, is that the pathfinding is really bad. It can be really bad.
It's horrendous. It's unbelievable sometimes.
But in my fucked up way, because I like the game so much and I have a sentimental attachment to it, I say to myself, okay, pathfinding is horrible, but that means that whoever has a good micromanagement will be a good player and hence destroy the other guy that doesn't have good micromanagement, So depending on how you look at it, listen, pathfinding is horrible, okay? But it can work into your advantage is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah, not always.
Not always, yeah, of course, but yeah. Generally speaking,
this game also rewards very good spatial awareness, so you won't get overextended, so you can know the terrain, and so you can avoid issues with the pathfinding.
Yes.
So you can use it also to your advantage. For example, you can stay by a ridge, wait for the enemy to come from an upper, from a cliff,
Yes.
and then hit them on that edge, and they won't be able to go back because the ones coming down will be smashing with the ones trying to go up, and it
Yeah,
will be
it's
a clusterfuck.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Th-
Teutonberg
this,
Forest
this,
all over again.
yeah,
You can do a lot
this
of
is
that.
this is how I lost most of my armies in the multiplayer. I was trying to fall back and I wasn't able to do so.
Yeah, or when we were playing, we were like stumble upon each other, you know. Oh, let's fall back. Oh, okay. So, but somebody would block the other guy, and then the enemy would smash us in the back, and ay. So yeah, pathfinding is not very good, but that's a general rule for RTS games from back in that time period.
Yeah, literally, we have to digest that it's a 2002 game, even though the Reforged refined some aspects of the game. The core mechanic is the same, so we have
Yes.
to be grateful and understanding at the same time. But about the pricing, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, just a few more thoughts. I also like the fact that exploration is very much rewarded in the campaign as well when you play the gameplay. Like if you want to explore the map, you get little bits and pieces. Like I said, like you actually get a secret mission. You get different items. You might get just enemies that you can kill, and then you can level up your hero more. I enjoyed that fact. The one-liners we touched upon it, but the one-liners are epic. I don't want to sit too much on that one because, yeah, if you want to add something, but I think the one-liners are just so good. It must be one of the best in any RTS game, any games, actually. Did you ever encounter another game that had like one-liners or memorable lines from characters as much as this game has?
Not that many, no. For example, you can remember like one or two, but this one has like a dozen.
Yeah.
And they are good ones. It's not like obnoxious. They're good.
Yeah.
They're funny, and you can use them in real life also.
Yeah, like yeah, and especially if you're a little bit more mentally challenged like I am, you can definitely use them, like I said. But two more things that I want to touch upon is that this game gave birth through its custom maps, and the custom maps that people created gave birth to a whole nother genre of games, the MOBAs, which I touched upon earlier. Games like Dota, like League of Legends, and like Heroes of the Storm, that's now discontinued. That all started with Warcraft 3, because people made custom maps where you could play Dota, the first Dota game. I was pretty good at it, I loved playing it. But then, because it was a custom game, Blizzard didn't have a license for it. So Valve, in its never-ending wisdom, just said, okay, we'll make a game all surrounding that theme, and they made Dota 2, which is a very successful and like one of the best games of that Valve made. Makes a bunch of money for them, probably. So they give birth to that as well. And also, like, I don't want to say it created the tower defense genre, because I don't think it did, but it definitely gave it a good boost, because there were a ton of custom. There were a ton of tower defense custom maps made for Warcraft 3 that you can play back in the day. There still are if you want to play them. They're a ton of fun, and it shows how deep the roots of this game are within modern day, let's just say, I don't know, strategy games in general, because it gave birth to a whole nother genre, and it boosted another one, right? Besides the fact that it's already an amazing game.
By the way, now that you mentioned, for example, League of Legends, when I started playing the game, it gives so much of League of Legends, the vibes, and the fact that you can get your characters and go with a couple troops and loot, for example, in the nearby, farms. It's like I'm going to jungle and I'm gonna get the buff. It's exactly the same thing, and you get the buff and you can use it in battle. All these kind of items, they can give you buffs in the battle, so it's very nice.
Well, yeah, because then what do you call them? Riot Riot saw the success of Dota 2 and they did what they usually do. They just copy other people's games. So they said, okay, let's go do League of Legends. So that's how League of Legends got its worth. And also that's how Valorant got its worth, because they were looking at Counter-Strike and they were like, how could we combine Counter-Strike and Overwatch? So let's make Valorant. Anyway, that's a different tangential stuff. But
Valorant is useless.
I agree. I don't know where it is now. I played it a little bit, but it's just a cheap knockoff of other games. But also one more thing, and then we can talk about pricing and everything. The game, I do believe that it's still being updated, balancing updates. It still has balancing updates, I believe, made by Blizzard. And like, don't quote me on this, but while I was playing for this video, I remember at one point in time seeing that the game is getting updated, and I remember I clicked on the patch notes and it said like some balancing stuff were made, so it's still being adjusted 24 years later, which is pretty cool. So it's actually a pretty modern-ish game, if you want to think about it. There's definitely meat on that bone if you want to play it right now, even if you go only for the multiplayer side of things, which I don't recommend. I think you should play the campaign as well. But if you're only into multiplayer, you can still have decent amount of fun. I mean, of course, if that's only if you are willing to learn by getting wrecked, which is, I would argue, one of the best ways of learning and fastest ways of learning. But you can still play multiplayer a lot with this, and it still gets patches. So that's about it. Go ahead.
Just be careful with multiplayer, because if you're gonna be a new player like me, you will get frustrated losing by MVPs and warlords of the past.
Well, listen, I don't know. Yeah, that's in custom game. You can play ranked, which theoretically should be a little bit better, because it should match you up with people of similar skill levels. But I don't know how
skill
that
levels.
goes.
The Smurfs who have purchased the game for the 5th time and are starting from scratch.
Yeah, they're having fun at the expense of your sanity. Something like that, yeah.
But as I told you, it's very rewarding and very satisfying, and it's addictive. It's addictive.
It is, yeah.
The more you play and you get better at it and faster, actually, because speed is what refines this game. The faster you are building and recruiting the Iron, etc. Because when we start playing the game, at the beginning, you and your friend, when we were playing, you were so fast with the buildings, the hero, and you were going to...
Yeah, I mean, you have a pattern. Yeah, you just follow
to farm. And I didn't even build the first building yet. And I was like, guys, how you do it so fast? And then after a while, I was catching up, and it felt good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, very satisfying. If you want to...
It's very nice playing with friends also. It's fun. Very fun.
Yeah.
Fun times.
If you have anything else to add gameplay-wise, now would be the time.
Gameplay-wise, I will tell you, give it some slack, I'm sorry, with the pathfinding, because it will frustrate you when the situation will be dire if you are very close to lose, and you will lose just because your troops will not get out of the way. Give it some slack, because it's an old game, okay?
Yes.
The better graphics of the reforged version are looking very nice in the multiplayer. Of course, we have discussed about the campaign. Give it some time. You will learn you will get the gripes. You will get the experience. You will get better at it, and you will get addicted. Trust me. It's the first time I've played this kind of game, like a Warcraft game, and
it has a lot.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's very much still worth your time, still worth investing your time and effort in it. Like, it's definitely a game that holds up pretty nicely. Even the cutscenes that are old at this point in time, like I mentioned, a quarter of a century old. Jesus Christ. But they still hold up nicely, I would say. Now, how much it's worth for you, that might be a different discussion. So, currently, the game costs 30 euros. And I'm gonna say my piece first, and then you can go for it, because I think we're gonna have different takes here. Listen, I'm usually, like you guys know by now, if you have watched the previous episodes, I'm a cheap as fuck type of guy. I would say I like maximum efficiency with my money, because I actually work for it, unlike other people. So, but even so, like 30 euros, I'm trying to think, if I think about the fact that it's a 24-year-old game, I would say fuck no. But if I think about the game itself, about what it offers, about the count, like the story alone, like we said, like you can play it for 30, 40 hours easily, and then you can play it for more if you want an extra challenge and want to replay them. Not talking about the countless hours that you can have fun with your friends, or if you want to play it even by yourself, it's a pretty fun play to game skirmishes on, or custom maps, like custom games. Like, but 30 euros, I don't know, man. The fanboy in me would say, fuck yeah, 30 euros for that package, absolutely. But the adult in me would say, that's maybe a little bit too much, actually, because I'm not trying to think in isolation, right? For 30 euros, you can go on Steam right now, and I'm pretty sure you can go to see what games are on sale. I'm absolutely convinced you can pick up at least 3 fucking bangers for that money. Usually the good games that are a little bit older, maybe 5-10 years old, but still banging games, you can find them for under 10 euros. So if you think about it that way, I don't know. Tell me your opinion, Sotiris.
I will tell you, if it was 20 euros, I would say, yeah, go for it. Who cares? But 30 euros, I don't know. It's like a sweet spot. Because what's the price of the base game, not the reforged one?
You cannot buy the base game anymore, the vanilla game.
Ah, okay.
This is the only version that you get. That was also a problem for people.
I see.
At launch.
So, okay,
of course, we have to mention, if you want to play the old style graphics, you can still do it in the reforged edition. So you can there's a pop-up menu, you can change it back to the old school visuals, and you can play it like that. But you cannot buy only that. You have to buy the game or the reforged, and then you can play whichever version you want.
I see.
And before, sorry to interrupt you, and before the reforged edition, I remember the game costed 20 euros, I think, the old school vanilla. And now it's 30, the reforged.
I think when I bought it, so we can make the review, I think it was like 15 euros.
I vaguely remember, right? It does go on sale. Yes, that's true. It does go on sale periodically.
I will tell you.
That's a great idea, because I forgot to mention that. So the answer is clear.
30 euros for me, it's a lot, because in the same time, for example, the RTS of my childhood and dreams, Command & Conquer Kane's Wrath and Tiberium Wars, as I can see here, it's for like 13 euros. Yeah. Of course, we said that World of Warcraft 3 has characters.
Warcraft 3, yes, not World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is the MMO that came after. Yeah,
oh, Warcraft. I'm sorry, yeah, Warcraft 3, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's very easy to confuse them. So
it's easy, yeah, it's true.
It has more depth, blah blah blah, but I don't know if it's gonna worth like 30 euros, because nowadays with 30 euros you can grab like literally gems. Of course, on Battle.net they have plenty of discounts.
Yes.
Like every 2 or 3 months, I think. So wait for it, grab it for 15 euros. Of course, if you have the money to spend them, 30 euros, it's okay. However, now that I searched on Steam, I've also seen that the Age of Mythology, the Retold edition, the remastered one, is also 30 euros, which is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah,
so they have the same price.
I played Age of Mythology back in the days. I didn't play the new version, but I would say Warcraft 3 is a better game, wouldn't you say?
Yes, it is. Okay, Age of Mythology, I like it. Just because they have the ancient Egyptians in them.
Yeah, it's a cool
So-
story, cool campaign, sure, yeah. But it's Warcraft 3 is better, I think.
I don't know. For me, 30 euros, I wouldn't spend it if I am a new player, because I don't know in what I'm getting into. Even
Yeah.
though, of course, you can watch some videos on YouTube before you buy, or even hours, okay.
Yeah.
30,
Yeah, go
30
ahead.
euros for me, it's a lot. 15, 20, yes, but not more than that, to be honest. Don't
Yeah,
know.
I tend to agree. If I'm trying to be very objective, and I'm gonna be very objective here. I agree with you. 30 euros is too much. Okay.
Because
Anything?
I will tell you,
Go ahead.
if you have friends and you know that you have potential to play it for hours, not the campaign, the multiplayer, because the campaign, okay, you will finish in 30 hours, okay, that's it. Then you go to the multiplayer aspect.
Yeah.
If you have some friends and you know if one of them already knows the game and he can give you some tips, you're gonna have a good time. Okay, that's good. Now, if you don't have, μισό λεπτάκι. Ο Στράτος μπορεί να είναι, ναι.
Go away. Go away.
I'm sorry.
It's
So-
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's understandable. We've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So yeah, go ahead.
Now, if you don't have any kind of friends and you will go into the game just for the campaign and a potential multiplayer with randoms who are smurfs and they will wreck you in 5 seconds, I don't know if 30 euros is worth your mental sanity.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's why I wanted to listen to your opinion, because I've reached a conclusion. I think, like you said, anything under 20 euros, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure. 20 euros, yes.
Yeah, and 30 euros, I would say wait for a price reduction. The only way I would buy it for 30 euros is, like you said, if you have a gang of friends, like maybe one or two, even one friend. Let's go like that. Even if you have one friend and you're gonna talk and you're just gonna say, well, should we give this Warcraft 3 a shot? And you know you're gonna be playing it in the weekends quite a lot, or every weekend a little bit. Then I would play the 30 euros, you know. But otherwise, just wait, because it's
Yeah, exactly.
it's worth waiting. And I think that's our recommendation when it comes to it, because obviously the game still holds up pretty nicely. There's obviously a lot of fun things to enjoy there. So the quality of the game is not in question. It's the balance between price and what is offered and how old it is. So I think we got an answer there.
Bro, there are so many mechanics. Even if you try to conceive the fact that this is a 2002 game, it's phenomenal.
I mean, yeah,
Wow.
man, it's oh my god,
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It blows
The
your
depth
mind.
of-
It blows your mind. Honestly, it blows my mind. As small as it is, but it blows it.
It's I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, guys. Sotiris is getting heavily harassed.
Yes, a little bit.
His counter part, or like his partner in dialogue, he's harassing him like a good Warcraft 3 player with another Warcraft 3 player. So we should end it here. It was a long one, very enjoyable one though, because this is almost like, for me, the story of Arthas and Warcraft 3 is like almost, I mean, not as good, but it's on the same level of Lord of the Rings, where I could just talk and talk and talk and never get bored of it. So it's a great fun to talk about it. Thank you for your time, Sotiris. I know this is a lot of time, but I
It's
see
been a
that
pleasure
you
indeed.
enjoyed
And
it.
also, just to mention that once again, as a first time for playing this game, phenomenal experience. And we only played like for 3 or 4 times, like the multiplayer.
Multiplayer, yes.
And-
I think we played 2
and-
times. Actually,
times,
no,
yes.
sorry, we played 3 times. Twice with Tudor and once only the 2 of us. Yeah.
Bravo, at the beginning, when I didn't know
Yeah,
what to do.
yeah.
But anyway, just a note that we have reviewed a couple games in the past. This one, for sure, even though we will finish this review and we will get the next one, this one we will for sure keep on playing, because it's so fun playing online.
Yes, and the weekends
So
we're
nice.
gonna smash it every now and then, of course, absolutely.
Indeed.
It's an ongoing experience. Well, on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Sotiris, want to say goodbye?
Have a good one,
To
lads.
all
and thank
three
you for
of them?
watching.
Yep.
The best channel that nobody watches.
Yes, except a few special people like ourselves. Over and out. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again next time.